Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LBLCS. I am your host, Buggleberry Finn, joined by my host. So the host of the host tonight is Les Force. Les Force apparently tonight just pulled in. He's going to cast this whole game from the monitor inside of his car. So that's going to be really interesting if that is true. I actually don't know if he's even here anymore or if I muted him. Or if he
Oh no, I was just gonna wait and see where this one was going.
I was just making shit up. I was rambling. I thought you were gonna interrupt me after 8 seconds, so I was like, I've definitely passed 8 seconds.
8 seconds. Nah, host of the host. That's a lot of pressure. You know, I'll try my best, but no, I'm doing quite well. Glad to be here.
Well, you host me, I'll host you.
Teamwork.
Yeah, kind of like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Speaking of backs, Trifarix are back. And Sammy Two-Slap begged me not to bring it up, but they lost finals last season, so I'm going to bring it up right away. But they're back. I'm expecting a DM any minute from him because I think he's listening. I'm actually really excited to watch these guys play because I think for like the Apes here, this is a really good, like almost like a... He's calling me a monster in chat right now. Really good test for us to understand how good they are. They had some roster changes, some switch ups, so interesting to see where they are now. And we're actually going to be jumping into draft in just a second.
Yeah, no time to waste. I mean, I think it's worth bringing up the fact you made it to finals, had a 5-game banger. I mean, that's a testament to your skill. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have it brought up. To be honest, a little disingenuous from Sammy Two-Slap there.
Here's what I will say. What's really interesting about that final, it's almost a statistical anomaly. When I was betting Schmeckles on that final, I never bet on the right team. All 5 games of that final, I misbet. I put the Schmeckles on the wrong team. So I just want to say that I'm going to be able to control the entire outcome of tonight's game by putting Schmeckles.
The downfall of Sammy Two-Slap.
I am the downfall. I believed in him, and it was apparently unwise. So tonight, I'm going to control the entire series by betting on whoever I want to lose. That will have to happen. Oh yeah, they are already actually pretty deep into this draft right here. Got the first couple bands going out. Casting out of here, Zyra or Ezreal.
Yeah, what's going on with that Hecarim splash art?
I don't know. It looks
a little odd.
It does look a little odd, but you can tell it's him. This freakish figure. Amumu also gonna be banned out, so a lot of big circle AoE team fights. Heka got a splash update, that's for sure.
Yeah, I did see Samu 2 Slap played, I think it was 2 games of Amumu last week, so clearly comfortable on that pick, but they're just going to first pick the MF and waste no time with the Aphelios answer.
Yeah, they had the ADCs they want. MF definitely right up their game plan. They like those big team fighty things. They like that Zyra. They like the Amumu. Going to take the MF. They're probably going to play something very... but I'm going to consider straightforward, as in like they want to get the pick. They want to find the CC. They want to layer it with the Make It Rain and the bullet time. Yeah.
Aphelios touch though, very high skill bot lane if they're able to pilot it correctly. Interesting choice here in the I guess the first showing of this new roster, kind of putting a lot of faith in those bot lanes.
Galahad is their ADC tonight, and Galahad's actually kind of he's definitely one of my people to watch this series in terms of people on Apes Together Strong. I think that Galahad is definitely maybe not like the knight in shining armor, if you get the reference, but definitely somebody to look at when they're fighting as a team.
For sure. Trifarix just keeping their game plan very simple though. They're gonna go in with big ultimates and they're gonna try to do a lot of damage. Love the Malphite blind there, kind of just keeping up with that.
So interestingly enough, you could see Sylas here. It actually looks like they're gonna be hovering Jackson, lock that in. But they do have Sylas in their lineup and their ability to play it. So if it wasn't taking there, I'm wondering if it is gonna be banned out by Trifarix to make sure they don't end up having to face it. It is really strong against that Malphite.
Yeah,
we've also seen weird Malphite builds lately in pro play. There's the Sylas ban.
Good ban by them. I heard on I think it was the stream last night or maybe the night before, there was talk of on hit Malphite. I don't know if it came to fruition. I wasn't able to tune in, but maybe we're cooking some stuff here in the LBLCS as well. Maybe see that in the pro stage one day.
To answer Toku's question, it is no plats in economy. There's no plats in economy, so gold 1 is the highest you're going to see here. I believe Galahad was gold 1 last season. And I'm not sure if anybody else in this game was. We had a couple of gold 4s, gold 3s. We're waiting for. I like the Olaf ban. The Katarina ban's really interesting that they were that afraid of something like Katarina coming in when you have Nautilus to deal with it, but maybe they're not expecting to pick more CC. The Victor coming through. Definitely a big pickup for these guys. As well as Sejuani. They have not really picked jungle. I mean, technically you could say that Jax would be flexing it, but I believe it's up in the top lane. Yeah. I would expect probably some big tank like Sejuani to round out the comp of Apes.
Yeah, I definitely think the comp from ATS is looking really good, but I do think they could use a bit of engage coming through the jungle there. Seeing the Veigar picked up into the Victor, I feel like that's a pretty safe matchup and should scale pretty well with the MF Nautilus looking to be a little bit stronger on the bot side. But yeah, no junglers picked on either side. It's kind of interesting. Typically, you like never see that in draft.
Jesus, the wombo out of these kids, huh?
Straightforward.
Cyclone, Unstoppable Force, Bullet Time. It's all going to come out. It's going to be mayhem. The Vi being picked up actually in the jungle. So still something with a little bit of engage, but very aggressive early. See if they can get the ball rolling. They're gonna need to, because this wombo out of these guys is going to be nuts.
Yeah, especially because Vi is one of those champs where if you're not able to get ahead in those first 10 minutes or so, it just feels really bad to play because it's always a one-way trip. I mean, you can kind of say that about the Nautilus, but
yeah,
support versus jungle, it's a little bit worse if you're on Apes side of things. But I do think I really like both of these comps. Actually, I think it's gonna be pretty fun seeing Trifarix busting out their massive wombo combo fights.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it with the bets in just a second. But I definitely agree with what you're saying. If I'm looking at this, and I know I'm gonna curse it because I'm gonna put my schmeckles on Trifarix because I think they have the more simple to execute composition. And And I think that when you're looking at basically any league that isn't executive, those usually end up being the teams that win it because communication is easier. One person goes in, you follow up, you kite for your person in the back lane. But the ability to outplay exists entirely in Apes, right? If they get going with that Thresh repositioning and the Lantern to Aphelios, if they can find their in and outs with the poke from Victor, if they can find the 1v1s they need with Jax, this can be really dangerous.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of pressure here on the Thresh. A Malphite R, Wukong R, Nautilus, point and click, really easy ways to get on top of this Aphelios, and if Thresh is not on top of it, it feels a little tough for Apes to be able to play out their comp. But if Thresh is able to out this pick pretty effectively, like this could be a massive game changer for Apes.
Yeah, gonna see. They're picking their champs right now on the client screen, so we'll be loading in about 3.5 minutes. I'm wondering, here's what I'm gonna say. Wondering how this affects Sammy 2Slap and his team when I put Schmeckles on them. Do you think it's going to curse them? Do you think that I can never be correct with a bet? What's your take?
I mean, history repeats itself, and on top of that, my experience in casting, I've yet to correctly predict a game on the cast, so I think that there's definitely some
hear me out.
Magic there under the table.
Hear me out. I got a fucking plan. Are you ready?
I think I see where this is going, but go ahead.
I'll bet on one team. You bet on the other. One of us has to be right. Okay? You ready?
I mean, it works in theory, but I mean, if the voodoo magic's real, there might be some kind of...
The game could crash. They might never load in, if I'm being honest with you.
But that way at least prove that it's actually a thing. I mean, I'm game with your strategy here.
Okay, I'm going to go... Well, I'm going to let you pick who you want.
All right, well, I think I'm gonna pick Apes Together Strong MB. I'm gonna put faith in the Galahad Aphelios here.
Okay, putting faith in Galahad. I'm gonna put my Schmeckles then on Trifarix. Got 5 minutes to bet over there at home as well, guys. Whew, this is gonna be. You gotta actually put those Schmeckles in so that I don't look like a fool.
I mean, I put mine in.
Yeah, I only had 46, so I just want to be clear. I haven't been right with the bet for Schmeckles in a very long time. So I basically only have as much as I have gotten from watching the stream on my phone in the past 10 minutes. So,
geez, a lot of support coming out for Apes Together Strong. They shoot up to 44,000.
Christ!
I'm feeling really good about that 2,500 bet right now.
Yeah, you got a lot to win. Got a lot to win. I'm sure somebody will start. Wolf says loves betting against you. I just want to do a quick little shout out. I asked the captains of each team who they want a little shout out for, if anybody is listening, supporting them. Sammy 2Slap, and I quote Sammy 2Slap, "I don't want you to shout out anyone. No one out there supports me. I am alone." That's Sammy 2Slap shout out.
It's depressing.
It is depressing. And Dummy Slick says, "I want to shout out," I believe this person's name is pronounced Steve, although Steve also is possible, and Wolf for helping them keep the team together as they went through roster changes.
Yeah, hopefully this iteration that they've got, is able to stick around. I know they've had a couple shifts throughout the season. Obviously, kind of happens early on. People got real lives and stuff. They're not able to commit it quite like they thought. But hopefully, this is the iteration they're able to stick with.
We're waiting for one more minute to get a little look. You're the only one who's bet on Apes, or we have a small bet from somebody else as well? Oh, we have a couple others.
I mean, I only see 2.5K, unless it's like a really, really small amount on the...
They are, yeah. I see the number of voters is 3 for Apes.
Don't worry, guys. You don't have to bet anything more. I'll take this dub.
Stevie? It's pronounced like Stevie? Says Florida Man 82 makes me think that... Oh, God. Chat's going to lose it with the Victor builds. They're already talking about it. What the fuck is he building?
There's no right build.
If he does not go Gale Force to dodge Malphite, I'm going to lose it.
I mean, that's actually kind of Giga Brain. I mean, Jax can build the AP. I mean, he goes the Zanyas. I think it's his W has an AP ratio.
His
I'm sure
Q is
Trifarix can see
technically
that coming.
magic damage on Jax. Your Q is magic damage.
Oh, is it Magic or the Q?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
it
play top
builds
lane. I knew
with
it was one of them.
AD, but it does magic damage, similar to Lee Sin's E. So you could definitely go hybrid build with him. Vi, I don't really think that it's... I don't think that's as capable there. Loading in just a moment. I want to remind everybody here at the LBLCS, don't sweat the little stuff. You know, let it roll right off you.
Some great words there.
Thank you. I was playing relaxing music when I said that, so I thought it fit the
vibe.
Fit the vibe. You know what I mean. If
No,
you understand
for
the
sure.
words I'm saying, dude. Dude, the Schmeckles are closing in 1 minute, and it's astronomical in favor of Trifarix right here.
Thankfully, it looks like we only have relatively small time bidders here today on Apes Together Strong. But
Another frag.
I mean, the public's never wrong, right? I mean, if a bet is 90 to 10, surely the 90%'s on the right side. I think.
The only thing to take away from this is that me or you has to be right. Right? No, there's nothing else to take away. One of us will break the curse. Right? And that's all that matters.
Yeah, this is true. It looks like Toku kind of raining on the parade a little bit. Papoba betting 4,500 on the Apes Together Strong. So the odds are a little bit worse, but they're still in our favor. Us is in team 2.
Yeah, 35K was dropped by PC Marshmallow on the Trifarix, so definitely some possible insider Schmeckle trading happening. Gonna find out who actually comes out on top with it. We got a lot of returning players in this one. Squeewee, big long-time player, used to have their own team that they captained. Really good player. Definitely somebody. Actually, these two ADCs are like the players to watch, in my opinion, for this one. You're going to see a lot come out from this Malphite. You're going to see a lot come out from this Wukong. But the positioning on Misfortune is going to be really important because that Thresh can be a problem. That Vi is going to be able to just latch onto you with that point and click. So, Little Robot Man, thank you for the chance, Lixtos. It is always true, and it is always appreciated.
Little Robot Man is a consistent presence at the beginning of these streams. I feel like I always see them highlight a message saying the chance Lixos, and then kind of maybe disappear in the background a little bit. But you got to respect the commitment to the bit.
Yeah, they're here for a very clear purpose, and it's not to necessarily watch League of Legends, but it's to spread the word that LeChance Lixtos. And you know what? Respect to them. Okay, so here's the thing. My game just kicked me out. Did it kick you out?
It did. I'm trying to reconnect.
Is it possible? Hold up. Is it possible that me and you betting on different teams broke the game? Is that a possibility here?
This isn't helping our case here at all.
Hey guys, LeChance here. Just hopping in one real sec. Let's peel back the curtain a little bit. I don't catch every stream when I'm streaming, but I did tune into this one. I didn't realize Little Robot Man says that for every single stream.
They've never missed one. In the last maybe a year and a half, I don't think they missed one.
It's genuinely, truly wild. I don't think it has anything to do with with me anymore. I think it's this whole thing has transcended. We're all licks toes. I don't know. There's something there.
You can try to pass the buck, but it ain't our tongues going toe to toe with toes.
Oh,
okay.
Damn it, Puggle. I had an off ramp for like 2 seconds, and you just grabbed the wheel and turned around
detour
the highway.
Detour, baby.
Fucking. Oh,
So
I sprinted. I have the laptop going in the other room. I sprinted over to my desktop because I was like, I can get out of this right now if I hop on the stream.
LeChance, I gotta let you know that me and Les Force are cursed. It's impossible for us to bet on the winning team, so we decided, okay, we're gonna break the curse today. We're gonna bet on the opposite team, so one of us has to be right. And the spectator game, it's failing to load because we've broken. Oh, there we go. We're in. Whew.
No. Yeah, this is how they made the atom bomb. You know,
yeah.
You're trying to get
not
out
really,
of this
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, listen, the math is all there. I don't need to spell it out for you guys. And you know what? I'm just gonna hop off on this note. How fucking good were those Mega Man games? Those Mega Man games where you'd put in like little data chips for your abilities, and it was the 9x9 square, and then you'd play against you know, the other things. All right, everyone's on board with that. I'm certain. I'm certain this was extremely coherent. I'm really proud about this. I'm not gonna listen back to this and be like, "What the fuck were you doing?" All right.
I'm intrigued. The Mega Man.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Less Force. Less Force is now the hunk. So according to the hunk, did LeChance just have too many toasts tonight? Like, what was that at the end? Is he okay?
He was pretty confident there for a second, and then he, I guess, realized that he was on stream and just immediately lost any confidence that he had. Just cowered off a little bit. But yeah, we still gotta respect him. Yeah, I never played the GBA Mega Man games. I don't know if those are like the Battle Network or what
You guys
they were.
know I can hear you talking shit about me.
It's, it's the only reason we are.
Okay. All right. Right now I'm really leaving. Okay.
Okay.
Brings it right back over.
You're on a pause right now, so I don't feel bad about this at all.
It's okay. You don't have to feel bad.
Engineer is also fucking on point. And as is Mew Life. Thank you for confirming how good those games were. They're great, and you know what? They fucking hold up too. Okay, I will die on this hill. Okay, all right, goodbye.
You've got me intrigued. I'm a retro collector. I'll have to go look into Mega Man GBA games after the fact.
Less Force, big retro gamer, but only plays them on the dashboard in their car while driving, of course.
Wild drive.
Because you play them without driving. There's no thrill. It's not as
That's how I
exciting.
actually got good at Mario Kart.
So driving two cars at once, maybe. Here we go. You actually hooked it up so that everything you were doing with your car, it was steering in game.
Yeah,
Which caused a
lot
slight
of
problem.
accidents.
Yep. Now I want you to know that we are paused. I don't know the reason. Less Force, you might know the reason. I don't believe I have chat turned on.
Looking at chat, it just looks like Trifarix. Is it Trifarix or is it pronounced differently? Either way,
I believe it's Trifarix.
they said they have a DC.
They have a DC. Okay, so we are waiting for them to come back into the game. While we're waiting, we're going to talk about Wolf 3's obsession with Less Force because he's bordering on the unhealthy. Now, is Wolf 3 on your team, Less Force? Do they play with you?
He is on my team, and that is also my cousin. So that's a little bit to explain for the commitment to the bit.
Okay.
Like I said, he's a frequent watcher, though. I know he tunes in even when it's not me on the cast or anything involving financial. He's around, maybe not quite as vocal when I'm not on, though.
Makes sense to me. All about you, though. Making you the hunk. I mean, that's high praise coming from anybody. Mew Life talking about the Digimon games. You ever watch Digimon?
I used to collect the cards a little bit, and
Okay.
I remember there was like an old PS1 game that I remember enjoying as a kid, going over to a buddy's house and playing. But I haven't thought of Digimon in such a long time.
I used to have this nightmare when I was like maybe 10 years old where it was the theme song of Digimon, but it never stopped. Like it would just like keep playing and I couldn't escape it. And it was Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. And it would just forever repeat it. And I'd run away and I could never escape it.
Jeez, that is truly frightening for a 10-year-old to have to deal with, something
Have a
like that they
chance.
can't escape
Welcome back. Do you have a Digimon related nightmare you want to share?
You guys ever watch the first Digimon movie? I was talking about this the other day on stream, but the first Digimon movie is a real banger. It's real uplifting.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's great. It's fantastic. I remember watching that shit on VHS, renting it from the Blockbuster.
I feel like I didn't like Digimon. I just liked the idea of owning a dinosaur.
Well, Digimon were scary. They were fucked up, horrifying monsters that were just like had full ass sentience. And,
No, I'm used to that. I've looked in a mirror. I don't like the idea of like, I don't know, fighting them. I just want to have a bunch of pets.
Yeah, I mean, like they were like there were like some really horrifying zombie one. The plot of Digimon, from what I recall, was like way darker than, anything. I feel like Pokemon's plot gained complexity once its audience started to age and add complexity to it. The whole sort of theories of like, why aren't there any adult males? Is it because there was a giant war and something that happened? But Digimon right off the bat was like, you got sucked into another universe. You are afraid. You should be afraid. And the world is trying to kill you.
And just as we get sucked off into the game, and don't clip that just so it says me sucked off a bunch of times. Like, you don't
Really
need to
good
do that.
transition.
Okay, you don't need to. Okay, Nautilus is going in. Sammy 2 slap looking for his first slap of the game. Misery loves company, but not this much company. Up here in the top lane, he gets hooked. Dredgeline's going to connect onto him, and all of a sudden, a lot of damage. Good flash over the wall to keep him safe for a little bit longer, and he will escape with his life. We're off to the races here very early. What do you think about that, Les Force?
Yeah. I mean, that's really heads up from Trifarix. I mean, a lot of times in these series, you see game one, teams just look for that standard 5-point. And I think of all the spots on red side to kind of catch somebody out in a 5-point, that top lane Tribush is like the best spot. It's kind of hard to see the blue side coming in. So super heads up there from, I'm assuming it was Sammy 2 slap playing the Nautilus calling for that ankle. But maybe if they win the series, we can ask them about that after the fact. But I think Missouri will be okay in the top lane. They shouldn't be too susceptible to Malphite early.
Yeah, it is one of the better champions, right, to engage with because that dredge line connects and then your passive auto attack's going to hold them in place for a little bit longer. They just did not quite have the damage to follow it up. You're a little bit low damage and pretty melee with the Wukong Malphite, so you're not able to finish that off. And he had a good flash over the wall. So good that he didn't lose his life, but definitely has to keep an eye out now for Wukong in that like level 3 zone or level 4 zone when he could come top here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I think it also kind of keeps him from playing aggressive on the Jackson and Malphite, trying to take those early trades, kind of decentivize it a little bit, because Malphite can hold his own, and without the flash, could follow up. Things slowing down a bit here, though. As I say that, Nautilus looking to engage. Thresh maybe caught out a little bit.
Does hit level 2. Gets that first auto attack off really good. The Dredge Line's going to follow as well. Then the flash and the heal come through. Galahad, good use of that heal. And Script has a nice flash to get away. But they do hit level 2 now, so they should be a little bit safer.
Yeah, Sammy 2 slap just killing it on the on this Nautilus early game. I mean, that's what you want to see when you pick Nautilus. Like among these engaged style champs, you want to use that early power that you have with the passive, with the dredge line. And so far, Sammy 2 slap is absolutely killing it.
He's got that 2 slap down to a pat, right? Go in for the first slap, then dredge line for the second, or vice versa. There's the dredge line again, and there's the second slap. No flash for him this time. The flash forward from Misfortune means that first blood going over to her.
Just again, great play there by Sammy. He gets the ignite off. He leaves the kill though for Squeewee to pick up and get that early snowball rolling on the Misfortune. And Galahad's gotta be a little careful. I don't think they're gonna look to dive, but could certainly lose some of this CS here. They're actually just gonna let him have it.
Yeah. By backing up in the top lane, so does that full jungle clear, but then doesn't look for anything. Malphite also backing up in the top lane, not able to get too much CS, and Wave in a pretty good position for Jax to kind of set up powerful lane state here.
You know, I mean, good on Missouri to be able to, despite not having that flash advantage, they're able to build up, a 10 CS lead here in the first 4 minutes of the game. We'll see if they're able to keep that pressure up as the game goes on, and especially once they get their flash back up.
Yeah, have that extra bit of pressure with that flash, but I'm interested to watch a couple of these builds. Obviously, Victor's already building incorrectly, didn't even start Doran's Blade. Malphite, also that build is going to be really important, I think. A nice wave building up down here, but we could see a little bit of a skirmish. Eurostar getting rooted over here, and here comes Wukong. They're going to try to find the damage. Dummy Slick, can he protect his mid laner? A flash away is going to try to give him a life for a little bit longer, but the flash forward from Wukong is going to be able to finish it off. Dummy Slice. I said Dummy Slice, and I apologize because they died in the same moment, but it's Dummy Slick.
Dummy Slick going down, and just again, I mean, Sammy 2 slap is just dictating this entire game. Like I can't commend this guy enough for utilizing that Nautilus. I mean, it's so easy to just sit there and lane as a bit of a trade top. No, I mean, he's doing everything you got to do on these engaged supports early. Huge kudos to him.
Yeah, really good involvement every single kill so far this game. Kills kind of spread out as well, so that lead growing for them, which can be a really big problem. Although late game Aphelios obviously can do anything. If that Jax is actually able to successfully split push, it can become a real problem. So this game is off to a really good start for Trifarix, and they keep that momentum going. Sammy 2-Slap wants to, looks for the dredge line, does connect it. A nice little flay backwards from Script, but it's not going to be enough. They should have the damage to finish him off, and they do. Galahad just can't do anything early against these guys.
No, I mean, that was well played there by Script to flay the hook coming in, but Sammy's still able to hit the passive, the root. And I mean, the Misfortune has a Doran's Blade and 2 longswords against the dagger and cull of Galahad. Just not gonna be able to win any trades for a little bit here in the bot lane.
Yeah, and Script no longer having that flash, that becomes a really easy target for them to start picking off more often. Top lane, Jax has that flash back. Looking for something. The Counter-Strike does connect, and a lot of damage actually comes through, but a huge slap back with the grasp.
Give him enough time to get that grass proc ready, and it's coming right back at him.
He's level 6 right now, too. He could actually look for the Unstoppable Force, try to finish him off.
Oh, gets 6 back, though, on the other
Does
side.
have 6 in response. Vader used Choke. Maybe looking to use Ultimate pretty soon as Victor drops low on mana.
Might see a lantern play here.
Yeah, they're looking for something right here onto him, but he is going to be able to use the blast cone just to get over the wall, and as they were doing that, Galahad was running out of mana, so...
Yeah, I guess Galahad just calling that play off, decided not to take the lantern in, didn't want to put himself in harm's way. Maybe he didn't know where Sammy was at the time. I'd be pretty terrified at this point.
Yeah, they don't have the best vision. They're just trying to get some now and fight for it with that Vi, with that Victor roaming down. They're looking for ways to get back into this game. One is to take this Herald, deny them taking Dragon for a little bit longer. They can always go over that wall. Nice dodge from Eurostar right there. Still gets hit by the sun right at the end, but doesn't take too much damage.
I think you just gotta avoid this this Wukong Nautilus side of the map if you're Apes Together strong at the moment. Like you said, probably go for that early Rift Herald. We'll see if Smite Steel comes through. It does.
Yeah, he's gonna get fought now though. Eurostar, I don't know if this is actually worth it because he's gonna pinch himself right here. Looks for the CC stun. Sammy 2-Slap flashes over the wall, gets the dredge line. Choke might be able to just finish him off, and Sammy actually picks up the kill. Death Sentence going to connect onto Sammy, but this should be Drake here for Trifarix. 5-0 as this game starts.
Yeah, just trying to bail out Eurostar there, who was actually coming over to try and bail out the Vi a little bit. Just unfortunate there. Neither one wanted to be the one caught out. Really good start so far though for Trifarix.
Yeah, difficult to come back into this one when a team that has this massive wombo combo gets ahead, because you already have to play smarter than them with your composition that you've picked. You have to be able to outthink them before fights start and when they are occurring. But now you're in a position where you also don't do the same amount of like hit back. You are down right now, so you have to find your way back into the game as well as occupy that space of just better micro.
You're also just against that clock with the Veigar mid. I mean, that's gonna infinitely scale, taking a little bit of damage there. But I mean, the longer this game goes, the more that guy is going to be hurting as we get to later stages of the game. So it's kind of a worst of both scenarios here so far.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest downfall I think is that Eurostar isn't going Gale Force. Bought that Lost Chapter, so already on the path to hell.
Like this here from Dummy Slick, he's trying to support his winning lane at this point. The Missouri on the Jack's top, trying to keep their CS up, let them scale into the game. Heads up play.
Does have a pretty good CS lead actually. It's one of the few things that's keeping this gold lead from kind of getting out of hand. About 25 up on his opponent. Everybody else is down right now, so.
And this is just heads up from Trifarix. I mean, the bot lane of Apes Together strong, not gonna be strong enough to 2v1 the Misfortune under tower, and so it's pretty much free real estate for Sammy to roam up top and secure that Rift Herald, which I assume the other side of the map was looking to pick up.
I just want to say you made me recognize something. Their name is Apes Together Strong, which does imply that Apes separate weak. So we're not experiencing Apes at their full potential right now. We're experiencing just singular weak Apes across the map. Maybe once they get together, though, they're not the team I would say is drafted to play together as much. Maybe we'll see their strength come out in numbers here, but Eurostar might be getting engaged on this mid lane.
Almost like playing with fire here on the other side of the map with Nautilus very close proximity. Good trade.
Yeah, a lot of damage from Jax. Going on to that Malphite right there. They did drop the Herald in the mid lane. They are going to get some plates out of it. Eurostar does have ultimate, but is just trying to poke these guys off right here. Takes a lot of damage, though. That Cyclone could come out.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. The Veigar ultimate is up, and I mean, if he takes any more damage, I think that's just an insta-kill. Might see a fight here, though.
Yeah, a lot of people are grouped up. Galahad in the area. That flay is not going to hit the correct target. It's going to hit the clone. Now they're looking for Wukong. The Death Sentence could come out. Dredgeline's going to connect, though, onto the right target. I'm expecting the ultimates to be dropped as well. Here they come. A really big hit onto Galahad. Galahad's going to return with a couple of ultimates by himself. Cyclone's going to hit into the back three, and Bullet Time's going to absolutely make him come down, but they're able to trade one back. But that's the second one that's going to fall. Same with 2Slap does have to get the heal from the ADC to try to get away. Galahad dodging away. The flash forward. The ultimate is going to be enough, but did they trade their life for it? They did. And 2 kills getting picked up by Eurostar. Goes to 2-1.
It's good for Eurostar, but I mean, Veigar got a triple kill there. They're now already on their Luden's Echo just 11 minutes into the game. This Veigar is quickly accelerating their weakest part of the game. I mean, it was a good look initially from the Apes, but
Yep.
like I said, just a straight 4v4 there. I think Trifarix is going to win every time with the lead they've got early on.
Yeah, I'm thinking that right now my Schmeckles are safe.
I still believe that the game might crash.
That the game might crash. Not that the other team's going to win, but the game might crash. Uh-oh. Jax is in trouble and sees it. There comes Unstoppable Force, and there's all of the damage coming out. Tries to flash away. Is the flash... Oh, he's able to hop away, but it's not enough. They put enough points in queue and do finish them off.
That one's got to be a bit of a heartbreaker there for Missouri. You're almost out, and just that flash follow slowly rolling towards you just was enough damage.
Yeah, Eurostar getting absolutely chewed out. So much damage. And that Veigar, when he puts the cage up, is able to just force you to walk certain ways and slapping away. Sammy 2Slap now coming to clear some stuff. Actually flashes into a death sentence, and here comes Vi. They're looking for all of the damage. Galahad trying to make sure they can finish off kill. He really wants something right here. Wukong got scared and does run away. Galahad's able to pick up the kill. That is how you start to turn things around. That is how you got to try to get momentum. This is right when the Drake is spawning, and they are going to want to take it.
Yeah, really heads up there, catching Sammy's 2Slap a little bit out of position. We'll see if the Apes are feeling strong enough to go for this dragon. Nautilus is spawning now, and it looks like Malphite's roaming down, but they're not going to have any sight of this until unless he walks over that red ward near the red buff.
They do have Cyclone, and they do... Oh, they're actually going to see Misfortune getting into position early. Doesn't get hit by the Death Sentence, but now gets flayed. They might turn back for her, and they do. Oh my god, over the wall. He's able to steal it away, and the bullet time comes out. They're looking for the rest of it. A lot of damage coming out of Galahad, though. Can he help finish him off? Vi, you're in huge trouble. Vi gets taken down, and they take the dragon away as well as the jungler. A really good play out of Notorious right there.
That one just stings a little bit. Just not quite able to take down that dragon fast enough, and just not quite having eyes on Notorious there. He's able to just sneak in at the right time and not be seen due to being in that clone state, and that's a huge steal for what was potentially a comeback mechanic for the Apes.
Yeah, I think that for a lot of people watching at home, might have sealed the game in their mind. Like, okay, Apes are probably going to lose this one. It's a 4K gold lead, a little less. It's 2 dragons, but the morale of that is a lot. But I read a quote today, and I want to tell you the quote that I read today.
Oh.
Himself for a little bit longer. The Descendants go over the wall. They're looking for more. Vi is down. A double stun right there for the Jax. As his counter-strike goes, they're exhaust onto the right target, but he's in so much trouble on the back line. Galahad gets absolutely deleted by Vader. And 12-3 goes the score, just as I was trying to provide hope and light at the end of the tunnel for the side of Apes, they get absolutely wrecked there in their own jungle.
A bit of a caster curse. I feel like it's a little dangerous from Eurostar. I feel like Sammy can go in pretty much whatever he wants.
Yeah,
there
Line
it
does
is.
connect, and they're doing a lot of damage. There's all of the ultimates. He does try to flash away. He does drop the ultimate. It might actually scare them enough. Squeewee not gonna go for anything there.
He gets that, which is good, but he did have to burn the flash to do it, and he also doesn't have TP, so he is gonna fall behind the pace of the game a little bit. We'll see if they get a pick here on Veigar.
Yeah, they should be able to finish it off right. There's a lot of damage out of Galahad, and that last punch out of Vi absolutely deletes him.
Good pick up there. You probably want to see that kill go onto Galahad there, but at this point in the game, beggars can't be choosers. You gotta take the kill when it's there. So good on Dummy Slick there, picking that shutdown up. We'll see if they maybe look to go for this Rift Herald. I still feel like it's a little risky for him.
Definitely could be risky here. The vision game is just something I'm really noticing. It's really strong out of the jungle, out of the mid. From the side of Trifarix, they're doing such a good job just warding up all of these places, keeping everything in vision so they can be more confident with these plays. They now have the gold, they have the ability to do it, and they have the team composition that lets you create these picks, lets you set up plays for people like your Veigar, like your Misfortune. They're carrying 7 of the 12 kills, so that's really positive for them. The quote that I read earlier today was by Babe Ruth, and it was, "It's hard to beat somebody who keeps trying." And I thought it was a good quote. And I just want to say that for any of the fans or anybody who's supporting Apes out there, it is hard to beat somebody who keeps trying, who never gives up. So
Sure, I mean it's impossible to win a game if you don't believe in yourselves. We're seeing a bit of a collapse here.
yeah, it could be a little bit of blade right now. A lot of damage coming out. Counter-Strike's gonna block a lot. Felios actually only picks up the Herald, but can they grab it? He actually picks it up on the back line, and all of this coming out right now. They're picking up one right there. Veigar already down, but everybody else is here. They're gonna pick up Wukong as well. Can they find the rest of them? There's no Misfortune in this fight. There's nothing to help them, and they are all gonna go down a 4-for-1.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need, and they've got the Rift Herald, and they're going to pop it right here mid. That's going to be a huge golden fusion going into Felios' pockets. Really well played there, though, by Script on the Thresh. Kept the Veigar out of that fight pretty much the entire time, and with Misfortune bot, there just wasn't any damage for the rest of Trifarix to pile on there.
Yeah, Misfortune's such an integral part of this team composition. When you look at her bullet time, when you look at how she's had really good spacing in these fights, she's followed up with her burst to try to help Sammy 2-slap when he's got those picks early, can help make sure that Veigar can finish off targets as well, has the huge combo with the Cyclone, with the Unstoppable Force. A flash forward is going to be really dangerous. Can he find the kill? Huge fancy feet, the blue suede shoes, and the emote out of Eurostar, showing some love for some talent.
That was fancy there. I saw the blood in Vader's eyes. I saw that flash R attempt coming, but that's a big cooldown down here, and with no TP, this dragon should be Apes if they so choose.
Eurostar actually went nuts right there, and Vader did choke. He didn't use choke, he choked on the kill. Couldn't grab it. Really fun to watch. I love an interaction like that, and I really like that. I like that they're trying to make a play down here in the bot lane, and they're looking for something. Finding the
It's gonna be hard to get to this guy, though.
They might be trying to pull him out of position right here. Galahad and Eurostar are down in this area. If he's going to ward this right now, they could look for damage. And actually walking forward maybe a little bit too far, but AC in trouble. The ultimate out of him. He's going to root him in place. They should be able to finish him off, but he's so tanky. They get the kill eventually. Another kill for Eurostar. 3 kills spread around 3, and another pick around Dragon. Now, if they can actually secure it and it doesn't get stolen, it's massive, but we know what Notorious can do. He is notorious when it comes to these neutral objectives. They're going to get.
You know, that was really heads up by Galahad. You don't often see... Actually, I'll hold that thought. Looks like he's going to go in.
He might get it still. This guy's absolutely nuts. He could not quite grab it. He's going to risk his life. Cyclone's going to buy him a little bit of time, but he will go down in the end. They might have to trade for an inhib, though. Look at these guys pressing. They're going to come in from behind to actually sandwich these guys. Aphelios getting back to get a more safe position when it comes to these fights because he doesn't want to get pinched himself. Squeewee might be looking for something. Here comes the Q. Oh, a nice hit right there, but a good use of the stun's going to hold up Dummy Slick for a little bit longer. They're going to drop their ultimate. Sammy 2-slap's going to get slapped twice. A nice bullet time's going to land onto everybody, and Squeewee's now in trouble, and their name was correct. Apes together are strong.
We just needed to give them a chance. They needed to scale up that first 15 minutes. Man, these guys just had back-to-back really strong team fights and have really just kind of cut down that massive lead that Trifarix was able to build early. Man, this is quite a turnaround, and I said I was never giving up faith in them.
Yeah, and they're not giving up faith. That was a really good bullet time out of MF. There was just no setup and protection for it because they're split up, because they're not acting as 5. I still think in this moment, you know, they've got more gold, they've got more dragons, they have the team fight composition, but now all of a sudden, oh, they're making some plays. Look at them using the map. Look at all these pings coming out. They're aware of it, though. They know they're in the jungle.
Oh, dangerous spot here for Dummy.
Yeah, could be a big problem. He is going to find Sammy 2 Slap, starting to do it. That sentence over the wall is going to connect into Lanterns there just for safety. Squeewee looking for something right here, but can't do enough damage. They're able to get the pick. Eurostar now dominating. 6-1.
Do they just force Baron here? I mean, they don't see the Wukong. It looks like they're at least gonna set up vision around it, and yeah, it looks like they're just gonna commit and force Trifarix to come and answer him.
And a rough start. All of a sudden, they are absolutely taking charge in this game. Apes looking really good here in game 1. Uh-oh. Jack's looking for something. Death Sentence does connect. Counter-Strike might be able to connect as well, but this is when it gets really, really dangerous. Thresh already down. They're able to pick up the Baron, though, in time, and they're looking for the rest of it to flash forward with the Cyclone's going to knock up 4 into the air. They're looking for the rest of the kills. A massive smackdown by Vi picks it up. There's the follow-through with everything else, though, and only one person escapes with Baron alive. It's the Jacks.
And that's just how simple this comp is to execute. They're behind in the play. They pick off a Thresh, and from that point, there's no protection really for this Aphelios, for this Victor. And just the Malphite ultimate, followed up by the Veigar stun, just picking off these carries. And now that Baron's looking a little bit unfortunate for Apes Together Strong, for what they gave up in return.
Yeah, definitely gave up a lot. They have a lot of pressure. They're able to trade some objectives here, too, taking this top tower. Jack still having Baron is a little bit of a godsend, though, because if they had all lost it, it would have been for absolutely nothing. Now you can maybe put him in a more advantageous position. He'll be able to push a wave more aggressively and then get his teleport up when that dragon does spawn.
Just as I'm hyping up the Apes, they have Trifarix, come back from the dead a little bit there. Huge play there, and we keep caster cursing them a bit, I fear.
All right, what caster curse should we cast next?
Well, as the one with Schmeckles and Ape Together Strong, I think we should talk about just how dominant Trifarix has looked in the last 90 seconds.
Trifarix has looked so dominant. They certainly wouldn't be able to throw their mild lead here at 22 minutes and 40 seconds.
There's actually no scenario in which Dummy Slick is able to get in here on this dragon, set up a free soul point for Trifarix.
I don't know how much we can curse them. I do like that one of us, I mean, yes, the game could still crash, Riot could explode, all the servers could get, I don't know, a bunch of viruses or, get really sick and throw up all their knowledge, and then we don't have any more League of Legends because me and you bet on different teams. I don't think that's going to happen. I think one of us has to be right tonight.
It's unlikely, but not impossible.
You're right. There is a chance. There is a % chance out there. I don't know what it is. It can't be too big.
They got to be careful here.
Yeah, uh-oh. Vi actually being the one getting picked right now. Might have to drop it ultimate. Drops the Q to get away a little bit further, but the bullet time follows up the ultimate. A huge play on the back, though. Eurostar able to pick off the right target. Veigar trying to return the damage. A really nice use of going golden right there as Galahad gets picked off on the end. 2 for 1 right now. Can they find a way back into this fight? Is Notorious blocking them off. Descent is going to connect onto the tanky one. You don't want to go in on that. Vader in the back line. Actually a problem because Victor's the one that gets picked off. And this should be a free Drake for Trifarix, just like we accurately predicted without trying to sabotage them.
It turns out that caster cursing only works if you're authentic about what you're calling. If you're intentionally trying to caster curse, it just doesn't come out. That was just really tough there. Trifarix had really good vision up in the blue side of Apes Together Strong, and they were kind of split off, and good heads up there from Sammy to pick off the right side there. This was the left side. A lot of damage.
That chunking damage is gnarly out of that Veigar. Gotta be really careful with that burst. 3 dragons now for Trifarix souls on soul point. I understand that the graphic says Infernal Drake in the top left. That happens sometimes. When it's this Drake, it uses the first Drake of the game. Ultimate being dropped here by Vi onto Vader, who gets a little bit of damage, but probably won't be able to finish it off. They get the shutdown gold onto them. 6 kills for this Vi. They get a 6, 7, and 7.
A good trade there in return. Sticking around a little bit, trying to get that solo turret gold, which maybe it's a net positive there for the Veigar, but Vi's feeling pretty good about getting that gold in their pocket, if nothing else.
Yeah, the
It's
bullet time
definitely
cancel
still
was
winnable for the Apes. You know, it's not out of reach. I mean, at this point, they're only down a couple thousand. It's certainly doable, but they're just gonna have to find more fights like they did around the 20-minute mark.
Uh-oh. And this, I love that they're making plays with the dragon that they have. It is getting pinged out, so they are aware of it. They know that this stuff is happening. But I do like that they're being proactive and using the map when it does change. I think that's very interesting to see. Notorious might be getting in trouble right here. They're doing a little bit of damage. Counter-Strike's going to find it onto 2 people. Same 2 stops going to drop the ultimate. There goes the bullet time. It's going on to everybody. And there's the Cyclone combination with the Unstoppable Force. Everybody is here to play, though. A lot of damage coming out. Lantern being dropped over the wall. Can Galahad grab it in time? A lot of damage coming out, too. That's a double trade. Over the wall with the flame means everybody is going to go down. Veigar trying to teleport here, but it's not going to be in time. They had the 5v4, and they traded 2 for 4.
Man, this game just keeps going back and forth. Great fight from Trifarix and a great fight from the Apes. This time, I thought that fight was going to go a lot worse because Thresh was not in a position to lantern out the carries. He was trying to get vision set up on the other side, but Galahad with that huge, I can't recall which one of the guns they were using, but the flamethrower that does the huge amount of damage, he's able to pop that as he flashes, put out a ton of damage onto these big beefy guys on Trifarix. Just a huge comeback there for him.
Yeah, looking at the heal cutting now, though, because Aphelios did heal a bunch in that last fight. Malphite has the Bramble. Wukong has the Bramble, so they have some of that heal cutting now, which is going to help make that Aphelios an easier target if he doesn't take those lanterns, if he does stand still for a little bit of time without moving around, without being unique in that pathing. I'm wondering if we're going to see the Mythic next, if it's going to be something like the Gale Force to try to help him dodge things. We see the Noon quickly being picked up.
Yeah, I was actually just noticing myself that we don't have the Mythic on Aphelios yet. Is Script feeling like they're a little bit out of position? Eurostar got to be careful, though.
Eurostar is just a baller. All right, Eurostar is in. Eurostar's here to fight. They're here to play. They're running away in absolute fear now and getting in a better position, but they are a baller.
A smart baller. Yeah, they know when to have that Mamba mentality.
Yeah, a lot of these players here on both these teams are sitting on like components to complete an item but haven't finished the item yet. I'm wondering if, I mean, this is a setup. They're waiting for somebody to come in.
This is very dangerous.
Uh-oh, Script.
You got to send in the support, but just not quite able to hit that either, and now it looks like we're about to have a big fight.
Might be looking for something a little bit too big, and ultimate being dropped onto Thresh. They actually get into the back line. Eurostar getting hit by that Cyclone. A lot of damage coming out. There's the bullet time. It's going to connect onto so many people for so long. Counter-Strike's getting there and stun too, but 2 have already gone down. There goes the Jax to follow, and I don't think Galahad can hold this off with his partner. Script is going to go down. It's a full-body ace, and they might be looking to end this one.
Yeah, right there, just Galahad didn't have the optimal guns there. I think he had green and purple, which aren't like the best for a massive team fight there. Not sure if that would have made the difference, but yeah, Dummy Slick going in on Skiwi, and they were able to get the ult off on him, but just none of the rest of the team was able to follow up, and that could be game 1. About 10 seconds on Vi, they're gonna go for it.
And they're going to teleport onto that minion. They should be able to finish this off. This would be an absolutely incredible hold if they're able to do it. It looks like game 1. Going to go over to Trifarix Souls, which means my curse is broken, but the hunk, less forced, is still very much cursed.
I'm glad to alleviate somewhat of their curse here, and also glad that a Pishi Marshmallow doesn't lose all of their speckles by betting that 35,000 on Trifarix. I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, that would have been an absolutely brutal loss right there. I think the highest bet on Apes was only 5K, 4K from Popoba maybe, so. Popoba also, I think, bet on them because I bet on the other team, and he knows that I'm never right.
Didn't work out here, though.
True. Looks like they are going to be switching sides. So Loser obviously has side selection. Looks like right now in this moment, they will be switching sides. Going to toss that one over. That little mix-up. Believe I have to do the Schmeckel bet distributing, so I will do that. It would be really bizarre if I didn't let myself win.
Not sure if that's just me, but you were breaking up there for a second or two there. We'll
It's probably
see
me.
if chat says anything
probably me.
otherwise. But I agree with whatever you were saying.
I am loading up an excessive amount of tabs on my computer as well to complete said action of Schmeckel betting.
The the chat is growing relentless. They want to see their Schmeckel payouts.
You know what? I'm going to just cancel it. I won. I don't like winning. I'm a humble person.
You just wanted to break the curse. You don't actually care about gaining Schmeckles.
I don't care at all about gaining Schmeckles. I just wanted the curse broken. I wanted to start being able to be right. Trifarix is indeed winner of game 1. Well, that feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I get why people like winning the Schmeckel bets. It feels good to like... I know you probably haven't experienced it recently, but man, it does actually feel good.
I just, this season has not been good for Schmeckel betting. I think I started out with 15,000. I'm currently down to 7, but...
7
I mean,
Schmeckles?
7,000. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not all the way down to
You
dumps.
lost everything?
Maybe I think the most I won is like 500. That actually gives me an idea. Maybe I should go for like a clean reset here and just new frame of mind, bet all my Schmeckles on the team I think is gonna lose, and just start from scratch.
There was a charity stream we had at the end of one season where I had to basically create, like, the Schmeckel market was becoming way too saturated. It was a huge issue, so I had to create like a goal for both teams to spend their Schmeckles on. And I might have to again because I've started to see some numbers people have of how much Schmeckles. We've almost got Schmeckel millionaires. That's a problem in my eyes. I don't want that. Ooh, sorry for the noise.
A little bit of class warfare here, I guess, in terms of Schmeckles. I don't think I'll ever even dream of hitting 100,000 at this rate. I gotta ask though, is there like inflation with Schmeckles? I mean, is there an issue with having such high Schmeckel amounts, or is it just due to not wanting to see too loaded of pockets?
Like, too influential or too powerful because of it. Like, I'm a benevolent tyrant, but I'm still a tyrant. I still have to maintain complete and total like a authority. So suppressing the rich is important.
I fully support that mindset, as it does look like we're into Game 2's draft. Looks like nothing in terms of the bans are changing here. We'll see if Trifarix decide to change anything with their last one.
No, neither team switching up the bans, just the sides being switched. I wonder if we're going to see a takeaway pick. Maybe that misfortune, they don't want that to be in the game. It actually is going to be the Gragas. They're going to try to create that separation in those team fights by picking up that Gragas this time.
Gragas is super strong at the moment. Can, I mean, realistically be played in 4 different spots. I think it's pretty unlikely we see it support, but can see it jungle and can see it in either of the solo lanes. So not sure whose wheelhouse this is going to be in for, but Trifarix might not know either.
I think it's a good pick. I think you're going to see it be in the jungle. I think it has a lot of similarities to how Vi likes to play with that big bursty thing, and then the ability to reach the back line with a far-reaching ultimate. You just don't have to go in this time. The Blitzcrank Jinx is really interesting. That is a deathly combo if you get hit by the hook into the traps, into the knockup.
Yeah, and that's a good ban on the Ezreal, one of the best champs to play into Ezreal, or into Blitzcrank, and we see the Caitlyn Morgana answer. So pretty different style here coming out for Script in the bot lane, and maybe a little bit more early game power for these guys on Apes Together Strong.
I like that they know, like, Sammy T Slap's a big, like, pace setter. Like, when you're looking at how the tempo of the game is going to go, you're looking at the roams that they're creating. Malphite being picked again, probably for JT, man. So you're taking something away. Like, okay, we have now a support that can also roam, can also invade early game like yours did, can also counter yours. It's a little tricky to do that, especially when you're against like a seasoned Blitzcrank, able to pull off where you're going for. You just got to hold that black shield to the last second. So that fight is going to be very interesting.
You see the Silas and Olaf band again. Blitz is one of those supports that like always has just an insane amount of value in the game. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're 0-15 and on half an item. If they're able to grab that ADC at the right moment, just get that lucky hook, one of the most impactful champs in the game. So it's always fun to watch, never fun to play against. Feel for Galahad here.
That Silas obviously being banned away because Malphite being picked up. Again, I think it's a really good ban. It's a really popular mid lane pick for Eurostar. Probably forcing him back onto that Victor with what you've done. Although we could see something different. They're going to counter one of the solo lanes here. That is what they're saying. People are saying Kate jungle. I'm going to lose my mind if that is where Kate is going.
I feel like that's not very good.
You know what? Now I demand it.
Now you want to see
who?
Mundo,
Jungle Mundo, maybe?
Probably Mundo jungle. I don't think...
you could see the Malphite mid.
You could see the Nukem AP Malphite mid. My guess is that it's a top jungle with saving that mid counter pick for Vader. But you never know here in especially the Economy League of the LBLCS. It's a fun time.
Kali being hovered and locked in. So that's one of them. That's one of the solo lanes.
Doesn't rule out the Caitlyn jungle.
Does not rule out the Caitlyn jungle. So far, true. I would think...
I feel like they could use some engage, but they're actually...
I actually really like Gwen.
Gwen does really well into tankier champs. And I mean, the first couple levels might be a little tough in a Malphite, but once they're able to... assuming that they go the Nashers, I believe it's Iceborne Gauntlet build that you go nowadays, could be just pumping this Blitzcrank, Malphite, and Mundo. As we're going to see a Rumble, and that's really interesting, actually. There
so much
could
AP
be
damage.
the Malphite mid. Rumble does really well into Gwen.
Yeah, we might see that. That Rumble and that Dr. Mundo, right, interchangeable kind of with who could be in the jungle, who could be top lane. Rumble can also go in the mid lane. Really can go in all three of those spots. This is really interesting because they don't know for sure where they're going right now, so the conversation might be a little different. But I really like the way Apes adapted in this draft versus Game 1. I think Game 1, myself and a lot of people who have watched a lot of LBLCS felt weird looking at their draft. They made it work come mid-game. They found a route back into the game. They started winning fights. They played together. They separated one person, whether it's the ADC or the mid laner, away. An advantage and tried to push that. In this instance, they're saying these guys play together. They like these big wombo champs. They like these late game team fights. They like being organized and being able to pull the trigger. We need to have multiple fronts. And so now they have all of those multiple fronts. They have Caitlyn Morgana who can stand back. They have Gragas to protect. And they have Akali and Gwen who can create that chaos from the sides, from the flanks. The only issue I think we're going to see with that, and you can take a run at it and correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think the warding out of Trifarix was so good last game, I'm not sure they're going to have a successful time finding those flanks.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy 2 Slap able to set up that vision. They were able to catch that thresh out near the Baron pit, force them off, and then get that, set up that death push there in near the Baron spot. Control should be in Trifarix's game early on, and it was a good point made in the chat by Carter Rules. Apes has invested very, very heavily into AP, which when you're going against realistically 3 tanks could pose a bit of a problem for the Apes. I mean, I'm sure that they can chunk through it, but it's putting a lot of pressure on Caitlyn here to be able to pump out a ton of DPS and not get caught out. So kind of pressure on both Galahad and Script.
There's a lot of AP period in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Malphite, Mundo. And by the way, if anybody's, we're going to put these Schmeckle bets in 1 second. Just so you know, I can see where they have locked in, where they are going to go. It is going to be the Malphite top lane. It is going to be the Mundo jungle, and it is going to be the Rumble mid. So just take that, as it will. That Gwen is in the top lane, that Akali in the mid lane. If that changes what you're thinking, how these lanes might go, I think Akali if Akali can really win that lane, we saw how good Eurostar was with their fancy feet. If they can become an issue and they can take away this Jinx, this Gragas can become really hard to kill against these guys too.
I always love getting the opportunity to watch some good Gragas. Just one of the most fun champs in the game. Unfortunately, it's also one of the potentially most disastrous. You know, hit that ultimate and send the Mundo or the Malphite into your Caitlyn Morgana could spell disaster. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Dummy Slick pilot this. I don't think that they had a pretty solid mid game. I feel like on the Vi. Obviously, the early game was a little rough for everybody on their team, but. I'm looking forward. I mean, they were fighting back. You know, give them credit. They didn't just, roll over and die. You know, they heard your Babe Ruth quote and they fought tooth and nail up there to the end. So I'm hoping we see a little bit more of that this game.
They made Trifarix really earn it, and I think one thing that we were talking about with Dummy Slick is like the similarities of how you're going in on somebody like Vi is very similar to Gragas. You're in, you're doing your combo, you're finding the damage, and then you're backing up and looking to create. Just like chaos with your ultimate. So I think it's going to be really similar. Very interested in how these first couple levels go because Dr. Mundo is super annoying with that passive. Counters a lot of what Gragas tries to do. Just Gwen doesn't have an easy matchup early. So if Dr. Mundo can try to get that Malphite rolling, because we saw that top lane discrepancy when Jax was beating Malphite by 35 CS come mid-game and the rest of the team was doing really well. I wonder if they're going to put focus up there or if they're going to say, Malphite, you got one job. You ult later on, hit the right targets, and we follow up. We're going to leave you on your little island.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a little bit tough for Trifarix to get that Malphite. I mean, Mudo doesn't have the best ganking strength. You know, he's gonna walk up, he's gonna chuck a cleaver, and if it misses, the play's dead. With Gwen having the ability to dash, might be a little tough, but I do think that the best case for the Apes here is getting Missouri ahead early on, as I thought they did pretty well in that early game on game one. They had that big CS lead against the Malphite as the Jax, and Gwen is just a champ that's really hard to deal with as the game goes on, as they don't have a super reliable form of CC on Trifarix, other than, I mean, Blitzcrank has the hook and the knockup, but nothing really point and click to deal with the Gwen here. In terms of betting, though, I feel like I got to ride with the Apes here, but the percentages don't line up with that. It's interesting.
Yeah, Apes a little bit higher up in terms of this one. Looks like PC Marshmallow collected his very small winnings from last time and is saying, that's enough for me. I'm out on this one. No big bets coming out right away. Maybe people being more cautious. That last game was a lot closer than I think the draft indicated, or what chat was used to seeing when you see drafts that are that different. You usually see that early game that was like starting to rumble, kind of like it. You usually see that snowball into craziness and one team absolutely dominating and taking over. That wasn't the case. Both these teams were fighting. Maybe there's a little more hesitation when it comes to your precious Schmeckles.
For sure. It is interesting though that the team that won game one is like quite heavily considered an underdog here. I mean, I want to ride with the Apes, but if the numbers are there, I think I gotta use the bookie inside me and put some Schmeckles back on Trifarix just to try to remember what it feels like to get a W.
Okay, so interesting statistic. I also put money on Trifarix. So the two cursed casters have put money on
I
Trifarix.
haven't yet. I'm giving it to the last second. We're gonna see what what it looks like. My heart's with Apes.
Well, we'll be loading it in just a second here.
All right, I'll put it down on the Apes. I can't stray from my heart. So someone is again getting a W here.
Thank God. I was so worried that we were going to curse him into oblivion.
Would have guaranteed a 3-game banger, though.
That's true. And you know what? If we know one thing about Trifarix, it's they're here for the big bangers here. So,
I mean, who can forget that 5-game epic duel against Flash for Damage last season in those economy finals? I think it was LeChance was casting that and sounded like he completely lost their voices by game 5.
Absolutely. I mean, that was whenever you cast like a few games, you're like, oh, that was some effort there. And then when you cast 4 games, you're like, Okay, that was really tiring. Cast 5 games, you've lost your mind. Between game 4 and 5, there is a disconnect in like the ability to think. It's and you first off, you have to have that ability to begin with, and most of us don't. So
Unlucky. Looking at keystones here, not seeing anything. I guess the aftershock on Blitz is a little interesting. I guess they just want to be able to have that tankiness in case they get hit by a Morgana binding or something like that. Would have expected the Glacial, and then Dummy Slick is just going for the full fun Gragas, going Dark Harvest. They're likely going to be building like that Night Harvester, probably pick up a Dark Seal at some point. Looking forward to that.
yeah, I wonder what this is going to mean here for these two ADCs. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on them. I think Mundo's going to become unkillable. I think Gragas has the ability to, but with they're going that Dark Harvest build, so could be very different. I think Gwen is really going to be the way in late game to be able to take Mundo down with that true damage, just being able to chew through them. So those fights are going to be something you really got to look at. This positioning, how they position in this game. Still have the Malphite Rumble combination, which is, massive ultimates setting up for team fights. You're playing around those neutral objectives. But a lot of danger out of this Morgana, this Blitzcrank to set things up.
Yeah, really, really good pick tools. And early on last time, we saw Sammy absolutely hit a home run with these pick tools. So we'll see if Blitzcrank looks for some more shenanigans here in game 2, or we'll see if the Apes have a good read on what they're going to look to do. Is I have a black screen currently.
Hopefully you can remedy that. I'm also with the black screen, but I will be able to move on now to second 4, second 5. You might have to use your time controls to jump the.
Yeah. What's your current time?
12, 13.
All right, we're on sync then.
Wonderful. I love getting work texts at 9:40 at night. It's so great. I'm gonna turn my phone over so I can't see them. All right. Another little bit of cheeky engage here is Sammy 2-slap with that Blitzcrank could be a real problem. I expect a ward and a walk away. That is what's happened right here. They're gonna spot this out right away. Good positioning from the whole team after that first game invade.
Yeah, they learned their lesson. I mean, Trifarix pretty much doing exactly what they did last time. Could be in trouble. And now they've realized they've been spotted out somewhere. Ultimately, no harm, no foul there for Trifarix. Just walk it out. Only use the Blitzcrank ward. Not the biggest deal.
Good play from both teams. I like that they tried it. I like that they went for it. I like they're trying to be proactive again. They switched it up. They went bot side this time. I like that the other teams
to go top and set up. Is Mundo going to start up here? This could spell disaster for him.
It's really interesting if Mundo starts up here and they don't show right away. Like if they stay in that bush and just let him be there, like don't fight him. He's gonna check it. They are gonna get actually a lot of damage onto him really early.
He has no flash.
He has to burn Ghost, and they're gonna burn Ghost in response. JT Man is just a level 1 Malphite. This is really interesting because Rumble is now also coming over here. He's gonna ward over the wall. I don't think they can do anything about this. It's just gonna be taken. Oh my god, they're gonna come back.
Careful, Blitz.
Blitz just gonna find the hook. It's not gonna mean much level 1. There's craziness going on up by the red side jungle. They actually could not take it, so the red buff did go over to Dummy Slick.
Yeah, and that's gonna stink for Mundo here. He's gonna have to walk over to this blue buff and kind of concede that whole quadrant of the map until later on. So definitely like the aggression coming out from Dummy Slick and the rest of Apes. Not going down without fighting.
Yeah, definitely looking to create that chaos to stop the structure of Trifarix here. That's a big hit to Mundo early, and if you can set him behind, make him not as tanky in those fights early on. Maybe be more proactive with Gragas. You gotta get this 3 buff off though. Looks like Mundo's actually just gonna fully concede the point. He's just gonna do the rest of his jungle.
Yeah, I mean it probably won't spell disaster for Notorious, but it's definitely not great. Gragas not able to clear super quickly here early on though, so it's not super ahead of the game pace at the moment.
This Rumble is annoying.
Rumble's super strong in the early game, and
Yeah.
but I knew it was good into the Gwen, but
Oh, they're
I'll
looking
hold
for
the rest of my thought
something.
off.
They don't find it. They drop it onto the right person right there, able to flash away and stay safe for a little bit longer. The traps are now down. They're going to find first blood onto Mundo, and they turn this whole thing on its head.
Just that power of Caitlyn early, and they're not done there. Rumble just being a menace in the mid lane, but no, the Caitlyn Morgana duo does very well these early levels, and if Blitzcrank misses that hook, I mean, they just really don't have any tools to support the rest of the team. And with Mundo already burning the goat, ooh, he went for it. I respect it.
Trap
Now
maybe
it's up.
going down. Might be able to finish it off. Good use of the... Oh, not quite enough.
If they were just a little bit healthier, I think they stick under tower and get that kill back in their pockets. Would have been really big there for Galahad. But still a good early start, as they're going to be able to force him to reset, harass this Jinx a little bit.
Yeah, keeping this Jinx off of those early CS. Getting the kill onto Caitlyn. They're looking for something up in the top lane right now. JT Man gonna get CC'd and hit up. Does have flash. Does decide to burn it. Might actually save their life right there. It's a little bit more. Can they finish him off? Oh my god, he might go down.
Oh.
He does go down.
Oh no. Oh, that was looking so good there for Dummies. Like, he got that early Dark Harvest proc, and he just saw the blood in his eyes. He needed to get that kill on the Malphite, but ultimately that play is going to end up being a negative for Missouri up here in the top lane.
Very interesting
Big
that the
play from
two
JT,
ganks have failed and resulted in the jungler dying. Decently amusing. And the fact that you actually don't want your jungler to come to your lane, you want the other one.
Mundo's also going to be able to pick up this double scuttle as the Rumble continues to pump damage, getting kind of low though.
Yeah, Gragas picking up their red buff now as they did die and no longer have Mundos. They gave up blue buff to JT Man, which is pretty problematic at this level too, because it actually allows that poke to just constantly exist. They don't get punished for their lack of mana, which is usually a big problem on Malphite. See, they started the corrupting pots because of it.
I mean, you can see these trades are just so far in JT Man's favor, even with the minions sitting there helping him out. Just doesn't matter for Missouri. Not a feels good moment if you're a top laner.
Nope, but does have a nice big wave crashing in right now, so can catch up in that CS a little bit. Notorious lurking in this mid lane here, trying to find something. Might be able to find this kill right now. Eurostar could be in trouble. Does hide in there, gonna flash forward, gets the auto attack. Now has their ultimate's gonna use it to try to get away. They can actually look at to do some damage. You're gonna look to create space instead. They could have helped finish him off as Dummy Slick. Probably he's not gonna dive under tower this time and decides not to.
Without the flash, can't go under, but gotta give kudos there to Eurostar. Those are some really clean Akali mechanics to go in and get that 6 after killing the Rumble, and then just basically leapfrogging off of Notorious and getting out to live another day. That's gonna be a dragon for the Apes over here.
It's a really good start from the Apes because last game they started out very poor. I'll be honest, they started out poor, but they had tenacity, determination. They came back, made some of those mid-game plays, brought the gold back even, took a dragon. This game is different. They're starting out in the lead. I'm wondering what they can do with it. Are they going to get over cocky? Are they going to be overzealous? Or are they going to be level-headed and maintain this lead?
I certainly don't think we're gonna see Trifarix go down without fighting. We haven't really seen Sammy 2-Slap get out of this bot lane too much, which is a lot of times you want to pick up this Blitzcrank for that map pressure, just harass the mid laner. But
Yeah.
they've been under tower most of the game, which is a kudos to the bot lane of the Apes. They're able to keep this Blitzcrank in check, and they don't want to completely leave this Jinx to die.
Much more tame game. Last game we saw so many kills. We saw it was like 18 to 12 at 20 minutes. This game, it's 2 to 1 at 7. Some failed ganks, some almost kills, but not quite pulling everything off. Maybe because things aren't working, people are a little more hesitant to make plays.
Yeah, it's definitely still going well though so far for the Apes. Gragas does pick up that Dark Seal like I predicted. Has the boots, but still not a ton of damage. Definitely gonna have to rely on the Akali as they're going in on the Rumble. Might just be a trade.
Yeah, just gonna find as much damage as they can. Oh, goes very aggressive though. Looks for that, can't find it. The second arm might come through, but Mundo's in the area.
Just a bit of intimidation there, I think.
Up in the top lane, Dummy Slick gonna take that over the wall. JT Man now could be in trouble. Does have Unstoppable Force though. Could look for the kill onto Gwen. Gets CC'd a little bit right there. Might look for the double knockup right here. Is he gonna try to find it? He might use it to escape. He's counting his options. He's gonna go back in because here comes Notorious, able to finish him off though before it matters. And they can't find the damage onto Gwen, who's able to just skate away. Does have to pop that ghost to make sure they don't get it by a briefcase.
Oh, just missing that hook there. That's gonna be a lot of damage on Sammy 2 slap. I don't hate the look there from JT Man to try and ult back in and buy your jungler some time, but Gwen is just a chance that even at this point in the game with just that leeching leer, still heals up a ton of damage, and just with that Q and then the last tick of the ultimate, just able to survive, and Mundo's just not quite there in time to get a trade back for him. So really like this early game from the Apes here. A lot of or a much different pace here.
Yeah, Gwen's a really hard champion to lock down and keep in the same spot. They're very slippery. They heal up a lot. They do true damage. Very irritating to deal with, especially when you're like what I would consider like a very one-dimensional champion like Malphite. Like you go in, you crush, you kill. Very hard to deal with that because you don't have the same damage. You don't have the ability to really fight back, especially because there's a Gragas on your back too.
Early game going pretty well here. We'll see if either of these teams look to make a move for this return. Is now Skiwi's caught.
It's a lot of damage on the Squeewee. Can Sammy 2 slap help protect? Might actually look for a hook underneath tower right now. The ultimate does get dropped. They're actually going to land it. Huge hook onto the tower, and that's going to put him all the way back there. The Ignite's going to be enough. Super Mega Death Rocket's not going to pick it up. That's a kill for Sammy 2 slap. Really good turnaround now up in the top lane. Dummy Slick looking for something. JT Man might be in trouble. Does have flash available this time. Is going to burn it. The ultimate gets dropped on the cask all the way back to him. Can they find more CC? They find a little bit of slow, and the true damage is going to be enough. Trades across the map.
Yeah, it was a good trade top lane to get a kill back in their pockets. As I hold that thought, I hope he's going under tower.
Oh my god. Not going to be a kill either way here. There's Notorious. Might regret this because they actually have the ability to outplay us a little bit. The red buff's going to be really important right here. Does help them heal up with that ultimate as well. A lot of damage coming out, but Misery has their ultimate too, and it is just scary. They can't land it though.
Last one.
Oh my god, they can't finish it. Morgana's in the area. Morgana can look to basically hold them in place. Does find it, is going to pick up the kill for themselves. The script going to get it. Eurostar can't land that shuriken onto Vader, but really wants this kill. Really wants this kill.
Just absolutely relentless here in the mid lane. He got tired of the bullying he was seeing early on from Vader, and he's just exerting his pressure. Not a good tower shot to take there, but I think he'll be all right. Yeah, that last play though for Notorious, I think he probably just wasn't expecting Misery to still have their ultimate there, and he walks in and kind of just gets torn to shreds by this Gwen, unfortunately.
Super Mega Death Rocket looking for him in the mid lane. Actually hits that Morgana. Apes up in gold right now, really big.
Hopefully we have a few seconds here of lull state. I really want to just give a shout out to Sammy. That was a really well played play there in the bot lane. I know we saw a lot of swapping back and forth, but that was just super heads up baiting Galahad into that turret range and picking up a kill for the well, I guess they got the kill, but it relieves some pressure on this Jinx.
Really smart max range Q onto him because he's Galahad was held in place, was dropping that ultimate. So Sammy 2 Slap knew they had a couple seconds to line it up, make sure they were max range, pull them as deep as they could under tower, and then immediately also drop that ignite so that once they flashed away, it just was futile. Like they couldn't actually survive. The turret shot was coming and the ignite was still ticking. Really good.
Looks like it'll be contentious here in the bot lane. Morgana may be caught out.
Cloud's get damage coming down. Black Shield being dropped. There's the ultimate out of him as well. It actually goes onto a trap. And they find the damage. The ultimate's going to be dropped, and it is going to be enough as JT Man is in a heap of trouble up here in the top lane. Does have the ultimate available. They've got Eurostar here. They're chewing away at Notorious, but a nice ultimate out of Rumble is going to connect onto 4. They are not going to be able to escape with their life, though. Super Mega Death Rock is going to hit on the script. It's not going to be able to finish him off. Eurostar is going to get the kill onto Vader as well, and 8-2 goes the score. And all of a sudden, they have fully come to life. Full swing for these guys.
Chat knew what was up. The bets were way in favor of Apes this game, and these guys have just come out. Obviously, it hasn't been completely guns blazing. It was a relatively slow early game after that invade, but they have come online here. They get back-to-back really good plays for themselves, and they pop that Rooster Tail mid on the Akali, get this dragon, and they're now up quite a bit.
Teleport coming into the mid lane. Rumble going to hold right there. Yeah, Eurostar's a real problem for these guys, and I think that they've kind of figured out, like, we need to play things that are so irritating to lock down because they don't have a bunch of lockdown with this comp. They had so much more when they had things like Vigar, when they had things like Nautilus.
And that's the problem when you pull out something like Blitz. It's got that utility, but it doesn't quite have the same overall team fight impact that you might get out of a little bit more of a standard support pick.
You have the double CC, you have the pull, you have the knockup, but you don't, like, your auto attack isn't a passive that roots people. You don't have the extra knockups with your ultimate. You don't have like a really good slow with your E like you do on Nautilus. So it's definitely provides more in like that team fight setting like we're talking about, but
and all the while this Gwen has just been left to their own devices. It looks like Eurostar might be caught out. Let's see if they can dodge. Not able to dodge that one.
Notorious just looking for it. Is actually going to scare them away. Forces the flash, and there comes the ultimate out of Vader. A lot of damage onto Eurostar. Should force them away. Super Mega Death Rocket almost connects. Eurostar almost paced back into it.
That would have been a feel bad there for Eurostar, but able to walk it off. Ultimately has to burn the flash, but that's certainly better than dying there in that spot, as the early objective bounties for Trifarix.
Nice, really good play there in the mid lane. Eurostar also going to escape with their life. Might get hit up by the bot lane that's come. Sammy looking for something. Good trap out of Galahad. Forces Sammy to walk around a little bit. Might get hit right here. Does drop the W for the speed.
They keep forgetting about this Caitlyn R, unfortunately. Galahad having a much better time here on the Caitlyn this time around.
He was one of those players I singled out when they picked up that Aphelios, but I think getting that first blood on that Caitlyn also boosted that confidence a lot when they were able to stop that gank.
Yeah, pretty much everyone on the Apes having a pretty good early game here. We just see the two deaths on the team, and that's on, I mean, Gragas and Caitlyn. Obviously, Caitlyn dying stinks a little bit, but you're okay with your jungler dying in this spot. No objectives to pick up at the moment. We'll see if they look to make a move up here for this Rift Herald, as they are well out in front here, about 5,000, 15 minutes in.
We saw a similar lead last game too, though. It was about 3.5, 4K at around this time. I think it was 14 minutes, but it was for the other team. I'm wondering if you're going to see a difference in mentality or a difference in their ability to get back into the game in this one. What we saw last time was basically them finding 4v5s and playing with that numbers advantage. This game, can they create that? Is their team fight strong enough? Or are they relying on Notorious to just get really big? He's 0-3-0 right now, but he is coming up to the top lane.
Good for a pick here on the Gwen. We'll see if she's able to get out.
Yeah, a lot of damage on her.
Doing a ton of damage.
Dropping the ultimate, healing so much. Gets knocked up into the air. That was a really good use of the CC. She's unable to finish them off, and it is the shutdown gold going to that Mundo.
It's a good shutdown. Is Dummy Slick coming in 1v2.
Nice hit right there. Really good use. Uh-oh. Might be in some trouble. Good use of the Proto Belt. Now doesn't have it. Does have Flash. Does have the ultimate. Drops it.
Ooh.
This is really tense right here. Getting hit a lot. Oh, flash forward! Dummy Slick is dummy thick, but dies anyway. Super Mega Death Rocket going up to the top lane. Not going to connect onto anybody, as it's a 2-for-2 up there.
I respect the flash body slam there. Unfortunately, when he, as that's just going to clear the wave, nothing going to come from that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Gragas there, he ulted Mundo on top of his little passive vial.
Yeah.
I don't play Mundo, but the thing that gives him that healing back. So I think if the ult didn't land on that, I think that's a clean 2-for-1 there. But unfortunately,
the minions
ultimately a
also
good play there.
out.
Yeah, the minions did secure the kill in the end for Notorious. We see a move up here to the top lane, trying to get this Rift Herald before the dragon spawns. We'll see if Trifarix decide to try to do anything, or if they just go all in on this dragon.
Yeah, it looks like they actually might end up forcing to trade this, because I think Rumble did drop ult earlier. Doesn't have it up this second. They might just use it to make a play up here in the top lane. 4 people coming up here right now. But that should be Drake here, and it should be Trifarix recognizing. It looks like they are.
Yeah, Apes do have a dragon to burn here, though, if they do want to look to make a play in the top lane or mid lane. It looks like they're slowly rotating down. We'll see if they look to go on Rumble here as a potential rocket belt. Just going to pop the rip from behind.
Now they're just looking for something. Dummy's like not afraid to make plays. I really like that. Vader forced the flash right there as well. And now they're making their way to Dragon. It's a little bit too late. I think they should have the damage to finish us off before they get there. Though Akali got there a little bit early. Who's it go to? Mundo's able to get the smite onto it. That's big. Eurostar misses the shuriken. Does get the black shield there from Morgana, staying safe for a little bit longer. Sammy 2-Slap now in a lot of trouble. Gets flashed in on the ultimate from Morgana. Sammy 2-Slap trying to buy time. Super Mega Death Racket connecting onto 3 of them as Notorious just backs up. And here's the problem that you could start seeing come from this composition. Because the damage is so AP heavy, because you're relying so much on Caitlyn, guess what Drake it is? It's a mountain.
Oh,
If they start stacking that, it's going to be impossible to kill this Mundo.
Yeah, I mean, and even the Malphite's going to be a huge hassle to get through, even though Gwen and Akali are off to really good early starts. I mean, with that, the Rocket Belt on Akali, you're not doing a ton of consistent damage. As Galahad maybe caught out a little bit.
Yeah, might be losing oh, nice flash over the wall right there. Good use of the Black Shield. Is trying to do damage back, and that's guess who gets caught now. Dummy Slick making sure they finish up the kill onto Jinx. They're looking for more. They're going to find it. Double kill. This Grog is absolutely popping off.
It was actually just a bait there from Galahad. They knew they were safe the whole time. Just had to entice Notorious to come up to him. Another 2 kills in their pocket. As Misery's not done here.
Yeah, really good from them. Snow Prone earlier, thank you for the follow. Uzi Juice, great name. Thank you for the follow as well.
See the objective bounties come back online. How do you see Trifarix getting back into this game here? It's things obviously they got a dragon there, but things are still looking a little bit bad for them at this point.
What we saw last game was champions like Thresh, who Script was playing, and Vi, who Dummy Slick was playing, get out of position, get picked before a neutral objective, or be so far out of position that they get picked and then the huge team fight breaks out and they're a number down and they end up losing. Nice hookup right there by Sammy 2-Slap. A lot of damage coming out onto him right now. Can they finish him off? Eurostar actually going for everything and is able to clean it up. Absolutely monstrous. Flash forward from Sammy is unneeded because they had Mundo to clean it up. Mundo does pick it up. That's who you want your gold on right now. Them and Jinx is where you want to put this stuff.
Intimidation flash there for Sammy 2-Slap. Just wanted to bring in the point that they had the kill on him. But I mean, you kind of just called it on the spot. They were able to catch Eurostar up a little bit, and yes, they were able to get a kill back in their favor. But they also gave over a shutdown to the Mundo. Granted, it was only 150, but that's an extra 150 gold in his pocket.
Beaten down kind. Hold on 1 second because someone's getting beaten down kind of up here. This is the LB LCS. We are the low budget LCS. We're just like the LCS, but imagine they had a horrible financial crisis. Looks like a big fight is... Oh, a nice flash to get on the wrong side of that, and they still get picked up. Dummy Slick really clean with the Gragas plays. If this goes to a game 3, I don't see Gragas getting through. This guy's an absolute mayhem.
Yeah, can't see the Gragas getting through. Caitlyn taking a good bit of damage there, but Rumble actually getting the worst end of it.
A lot of damage onto him. They're able to just chew through these guys. Nice ultimate out of Rumble, though. They can pull anybody back into a Dummy Slick coming around. Akali's still in the bot lane, so there's still even numbers right here. Sammy 2-Slap, you are walking too far forward. 1, 2, 3. It took 4 slaps, but they take him down.
Another friend.
Yeah, just out there a little bit. You're trying to set up some vision for your carries up in the top lane, keep them safe. But you're dead, and with a numbers disadvantage, that could just be a free Baron here. We'll see if Notorious has Heroics able to go over with the Blast Cone.
And something we talk about a lot is momentum, and I think that Game 1, momentum started out so heavily in favor of Trifarix. They felt really strong. They felt really good about where they were. Game 2, oh, that was almost a crazy steal. Game 2, actually, in the middle of Game 1, all of a sudden, Trifarix were starting to lose steam, and the game was starting to come back. What looked like it was impossible to come back from, all of a sudden, Apes were punching back. They were throwing down. They were not giving up, just like Babe Ruth said. And Game 2, they're taking these massive fights. They're taking their... A big fight right here. Eurostar now going in. I might be breaking up a little bit as I'm dropping frames, but absolutely massive damage out of Eurostar.
Yeah, Eurostar's just an absolute problem. Is that ult going to hit, though? Oh, just missing it there.
Squeezy has been 3 or 4 like inches away from getting 3 or 4 kills.
Yeah, so as Camp Sada said in chat, just join the Discord, and already in the season is Sammy 2 Slap taking a lot of damage.
Oh my goodness, really good shield though. Oh my god, Dummy Slick with these Qs is nuts, dude.
Yeah, the 14 stacks now on the Mage Eyes with the Void Step, with the Rocket Belt. This guy is a problem, and I certainly hope if this goes to Game 3 that we don't see this Gragas again. Not because I don't want to see it, because it's a ton of fun to watch.
Or if they do let it through, having to answer for it early. I think one thing that we did see happen too that we need to comment on, like he got ahead too because he was able to 3-buff this Mundo very early, was able to make plays, and they paid off. He did end up dying in that top lane, but just out of hyper aggression.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, Apes together strong, able to just take over whatever quadrant of the jungle they want. Looking for a flash.
Yo, Dummy Slick's feeling it right now, dude.
Definitely take that trade, though. Get rid of the Jinx flash there. Really susceptible now is Eurostar getting caught out, maybe?
Yeah, this is the person he actually doesn't want to fight. Goes for Vader instead, which is the person who he does want to fight. Gets more of it. Is able to finish him off. Totally take him down, but now is in trouble. Notorious should be able to run him down. He shouldn't have no more tricks up his sleeve, and he doesn't. He'll be taken down in the end. Shutdown goal going over to Mungo.
These guys are just playing these mechanically intensive champs really well this game. I think it seems to be a lot more up their speed, whereas last game they played the Victor. Hold that thought.
A lot of damage onto him right now. He gets rooted up. He will be taken down. Galahad's going to pick up that kill on the Sammy 2 Slap. Now they're looking to push in on this mid lane right here. JT, man, gets stunned, gets hit up. The traps are down. Can they finish him off? A nice Alpha's going to keep him on tower for a little bit longer. And Dummy Slick is going to take a lot of damage, but it's actually Gwen who goes down. And Squeewee is on the board now. They might look for more here, too, because this is the 2 dangerous ones. These are the 2 who can carry them in this game. Is this Notorious? Is this Squeewee?
Looks like they're just about done in that play, but it is a good kill back in their pocket, trying to get this Jinx caught up to the Caitlyn here, down a couple thousand gold. But still just another good play from the Apes. They're exerting their will, getting that mid tower. We won't see an objective for a couple minutes, so hopefully Trifarix are able to stall the bleeding here in the next couple minutes before this potential soul's coming up.
Boosted Boss Gaming, thank you for the follow. Beaten Down Kid, thank you for the follow. And obviously, thank you for the gifted sub that was earlier to our wonderful Luffy.
Fellow Gragas enthusiast.
Oh, yeah. We actually had a big question last time I was streaming about what the best Gragas skin was.
What? I mean, I think Oktoberfest is a really good one, but
one of the champions that has so many good skins.
I mean, yeah, there's like no bad I mean, not a big fan of Hillbilly Gragas, but I guess if I have to pick a favorite, is it Warden Gragas? The like Arctic, or maybe it's Arctic Ops.
Psyops, right?
Yeah, is it Psyops? Yeah,
it might be
that would probably be my my choice.
It's a good blue color. I also like. I think she has a Santa Claus skin. I'm into that skin too. It's good. Looking for JT Man up here. JT Man is 77 years old. On July 7th, which is 7/7, he will be turning 78. Notorious might be getting sent back to base right now, though. A lot of damage onto him, and that's going to be enough. As they're looking for mid lane now, Galahad taking a lot of damage, trying to hit the Sammy 2 Slap. Is going to get a lovely redemption from their support to protect them.
Yeah, they're just not able to get enough damage in on this Caitlyn, and then a traded kill on the other side. Chat talking a little bit about this this Heart Seal Mundo. I feel like it is a little tough to kind of get those procs on the Heart Seal in the jungle. You kind of have to get a lot of utilization, like ganking on it, and just unfortunately with the way this game's gone, hasn't quite been able to do that.
You actually don't have setup unless you're hanging around Sammy 2 Slap, who actually gets hit by the ultimate right there, and all the ultimates are going to follow. Galahad from downtown picking up that kill.
Man, Sammy 2 Slap was on top of the world game 1, and just game 2 has just been, I mean, maybe the Apes have just identified these problems. A ton of damage on JT, man.
Dude, that being held in place for that long is so irritating. Like, I can just feel that Malphite being like, okay, I'm here for the next minute. Like, should I read a book? What should I do? I can't move. Nothing I can do. Eurostar looking for something on a Squeebee, who's doing a really good job with their positioning, trying to run away right here. Does have heal available, does have their Gale Force available.
Yeah, no rocket built. Eurostar probably gonna have to walk away. But then it looks like the Apes are gonna be setting up for Baron here. There is a bit of a disconnect between this and the Dragon Soul timer, so they're probably gonna look to get both. But Trifarix
If they find Eurostar, this could be really problematic because they could turn this into a kill. Vader has to keep distance because Eurostar actually has the ability to leap over and then go for it, and they are going to. The Shuriken does hit. They're looking for so much of it. The ultimate gets dropped. They might get picked up, and the Baron gets picked up in the meantime. Akali also going down. Now the teleport being dropped up in the top lane. They're going to say, okay, we're just going to push as much as we can right here. Both junglers and ADCs going for Dragon on both teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Trifarix can be able to get this Dragon in time. I mean, you have Sammy 2 Slap coming down, but the Gragas Caitlyn are going to be dealing massive amounts of damage, and you just use heal to secure the kill on the Akali there. They're kind of split at the moment. They're kind of walking it off.
Simple 3v3. Oh, there was the ultimate being dropped. A lot of damage onto him right now as Gwen might be in trouble, but Gwen does so much in return, and they just aren't cutting through this healing enough. Picks up both of them. Misery loves company.
Man, those are the plays you want if you're on Gwen. Notorious getting CC'd into Oblivion once again.
Gets taken down. Galahad is dominating 7-1 and 9 now on this Caitlyn. Could be something you see taken off the table next game.
Man, there's just so many things. Pretty much everyone's piloted the champ super effectively here, and you only have 3 bans, at least in the first phase. So, I mean, I could see this Caitlyn being banned. This Morgana has been a massive menace. There's Eurostar going in. Gonna have to walk out though. But Script doing really well. Galahad. I don't think we see this dummy slick Gragas though. I think for sure the player of the game so far.
Nice hook right there, but Gwen just so slippery, so hard to actually hold in place. Accelerated by the fact that they don't really have much holding in place on the side of Trifarix right here, but they do grab a target they want to kill, and they are dropping everything to make sure it happens. Black Shield gets put on them. The Ignite is also ticking away, though. They get a little bit of healing from their passive. Eurostar now might be in trouble. Is a little bit far forward. JT-Man looking for something. Actually gets hit by everything, though. Galahad picks it up. Super Mega Death Rocket only going to connect on a Eurostar.
Yeah, it was almost a good look there on Dummy Slick. They were able to chunk him out almost all the way, but just that flash and the Morgana Black Shield able to get him out, and he is now still sitting on that full stacked Mage Eyes. Took his trip to the library, and he is definitely enjoying his time here.
Yeah, say what you will about these two teams, but both games, like, have gone on longer than they've deserved to. Like, I feel like this game could have been taken earlier, but just such a good job out of Trifarix to hold on longer. Game 1, same thing, but other way around, right? Trifarix felt like they were going to start just taking every single team fight, but Apes found their way back in with these sneaky little fights. They found the 5v4s. They found when people were isolated from their team and made plays around where they could. So Game 3, if we do end up going there, which it really does look like we will be, is going to be really interesting in how they're going to draft.
Yeah, momentum definitely on Apes Together strong side here, but again, I think it's kudos to Trifarix that they're not giving up here. They're still sticking around. I mean, obviously the game didn't go the way they're hoping, and they're kind of praying on a couple miracles to happen here to get them back into the game. But I mean, I think it's a kudos to them that they're not just kind of rolling over in their base. You know, they're trying to get picks on the Akali. They're trying to get picks on Gwen. You know, they're making the effort. You know, referencing again Babe Ruth here tonight. Yeah,
and Squeebee actually playing out of their mind, only dying once this game when the other team has 29 kills. So their positioning has been really stellar. Maybe they can play a ADC that maybe gets a little bit more involved the way MF does in like that early mid section of the game, because their positioning has been really stellar. They just, you know, Jinx is such a late game champion in terms of when they're able to dish out all that damage. And now Dummy Slick looking for something, actually going to try to prove me wrong. Nice use of the Gale Force right there to stay alive a little bit longer. There goes everything being dropped onto him. Nice ultimate, though, means Squeebee's way out of position. Everybody's going in for everything right now. That's actually 2 for Rumble. But on the back line, Eurostar's able to pick up the Jinx. Sammy 2 Slap going in very crazy. Gets absolutely deleted. But 3 kills here for Rumble. Notorious also living a lot longer than they deserve to, but Gwen chewing through the opponent's JT man. Also in a heap of trouble. That Black Shield back onto Gwen means she can just run rampant in there, and she might choose to take him down with a Q right there. Oh, it's almost enough true damage. Script taking another tower shot, and they might be able to close this out, but this is really close right here.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 20 seconds on anyone else from the Ape or from Trifarix coming up, and yeah, I think
Misery can just do it and Q for health. Nice pickup again. Vader going to 5, 7, and 2, padding those stats before we're gonna go to a game 3 as Apes together are strong and prove it in game 2.
Yeah, it was a good fight there, though. They were able to pick up 3 members of Apes together strong, including the Gragas, getting some shutdowns, but again, when you're down kind of in that state of the game, it's just too much going on.
Yeah, and we're going to have a Schmeckel payout for everybody. Hey, did we just break both curses?
We broke both curses.
That's pretty good, Less Force. I just want to say, like, in one night, we have broken 2 curses. Is this...
Like you said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Oh, hi, Vega. How are you? Thank you for raiding with the party of 18. Very much appreciated.
Stream team here in the LBLCS bringing over some viewers. You love to see that.
We do love to see that, and we love Oh Hi Vega. I was told to give y'all a sloppy kiss. We're gonna take it. LeChance will take it on his toes. We'll take it right on the cheek.
I feel like he's more of a give a sloppy kiss on the toes kind of guy, but
right. Well, he's gonna balance it out. There's a certain balance that LeChance provides to the world, and part of it is just toe on toe stuff and lips on toe stuff. And I wonder if he's still listening because he did come in last time we were. I would expect him in about 10 seconds if he's listening. It's a little bit of delay, so we're actually in a banger series right now, guys. Just so you know, we're working on a game 3 right here. A toe licker, not a toe licky. Very true.
I'm sure he's tried it though.
I don't know.
You can't be that kind. I mean, if you're like that kind of aficionado of toes, I mean, you feel like you probably.
I don't want to put LeChance on the spot. I do know LeChance personally. They're not flexible enough to kiss their own toes. I want to go on that remark. I'm gonna ride that. That's all I really know. Like maybe they are, but I've seen them do things that are athletic. They're very athletic. They're much stronger than me, and they're much taller than me, and they can beat me up, which is even more fun that I'm saying this. But they are not flexible enough to kiss their toes.
Hopefully LeChance isn't still watching. Or hopefully he is. You know, we don't want to lose viewers during the game, but maybe for that brief moment, maybe LeChance had to walk away.
Yeah, LeChance just cut out or took his headphones out for 1 second.
Good question there from Camp Sada. In reference to licking toes, do you bring the toes up or do you bring the mouth down? That's the hard hitting questions here we need to answer as we're in a bit
I
of
imagine there's a bit of both. I can't imagine that it's first off, if you're bringing your toe all the way to your mouth straight up, you're an insane person. You have abilities that are far beyond what you need.
I say the same thing though. If you're able to bend down all the way down to your toes exclusively,
yeah. You literally have to do both. I think you sit, right?
Like I don't think not impossible to do standing.
Like a man
keeping balance.
Like a really stereotypical white guy dad from the 60s who's reading his paper. And he has the cup of coffee in front of him, and he's got the one leg bent at that perpendicular angle, like right up there, so his ankle's on the knee. And then I think from there, you dive down. We'll have to get LeChance in here to actually see if that is the technique. But I imagine that's it.
I know Sammy Two Slap is quite an aficionado of LeChance and his toe licking, so hopefully if they come back in, or maybe they're still in the cast listening, but maybe they'll ask the hard hitting questions that the LBLCS needs to know.
True. I will do the payouts for the last Schmeckel bets, so just don't let me mess up and give myself more Schmeckles. Let's go right here. It
Sounds
was.
like a
You know,
potential Schmecklegate.
what's really interesting is both times the team that's won has had like way higher prediction rates of winning. Like 87%, 79% of the Schmeckles have been bet on them. I wonder if we're going to see a similar trend here for game 3 is it does look like blue side is the favored side by whichever team. Wait, hang on. Yeah, blue side going to be picked up here by Trifarix. So another switch of the sides.
Blue side can definitely be strong if you're utilizing really strong, early picks in the draft. Otherwise, if you're trying to counter pick, it feels really good to be on red side, especially for your solo laners. But we'll see what Trifarix has cooked up here. Personally, I think that they need to unleash Sammy to slap. I think game 1, those first like 5 to 7 minutes, he was getting great hooks on script, and then he was moving with Notorious. They were getting kills in the enemy jungle side. And last game with the Caitlyn Morgana, he wasn't able to do that. Otherwise, they were leaving Squeewee out to dry. So I think whether it's picking something, because I think the Blitzcrank could have enabled that for Notorious, but just the way the game played out, they couldn't. So I think you need to do something on your side to enable Sammy 2 Slap to kind of have that early impact that they were able to in game 1.
I think two things. I think you're right about that. I think the other thing too is like you got to reset mentally in terms of like, okay, if you're not resetting mentally right now, Trifarix, you don't have the momentum. Apes have the momentum. They started to come back in game 1. They beat you in game 2. So this, you got to kind of reset. You got to say, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What was annoying? And I think what was really annoying is that Akali and Gwen are stupid slippery and you didn't have the lockdown to deal with them. So are you going to have the lockdown this time? Or are you going to take away their ability to be super slippery? I think you're going to see changes in bans coming out. The Hecarim still going to be banned away, though.
Yeah, we'll see if they decide to change anything up here. So far, they're keeping the same bans. A little risky. I would say. I think you have to ban. At least, and there's the Gragas ban that I wanted to see. I don't think you leave this back up for Dummy Slick, who just showed a tremendous proficiency on this champ.
And who just followed the channel. Thank you, Dummy Slick, for following the LBLCS. And Trifarix going to take that MF for Squeewee. Really like that right here.
Oh, they did great game 1 on it, and we assume that they'll be pairing it with something like a Nautilus or maybe a Leona. Personally, I'd love to see a Rel, my personal favorite supportive choice. Probably unlikely, but it fits in with the Misfortune pretty well.
I think it also I think it allows you to be really dangerous. This is actually really interesting because they pick Samira right here. I'm just going to block that bullet time if you pull it off correctly. The Rakan can also get in there and create mayhem. Listen, I don't want to jinx this draft or try to create anything specific, but like Poppy could be really good here. I'm wondering if they might try to throw that on JT, man. The Malphite hasn't always been working, but you do have the bullet time, right, with Misfortune. They're running it back. They're saying this worked game 1. Why would we not? They're just going to pick Malphite after this, too.
Yeah, I think the Poppy would definitely be a great pick into Samira. You definitely want some really easy to execute CC when you're playing against the Samira, and especially with the Nautilus kind of coming in with. I think Wukong does have reliable in the sense of point and click. You press the R, stop Samira's dashing, but it's not quite as locked down as something like a Poppy or.
And there's actually the Poppy for Apes now.
That's a steal from them. That maybe they're listening in.
Yeah, both teams could be listening in right now, obviously. But the Poppy can be really strong here. And I actually think that that's going to be a jungle Poppy onto Dummy Slick. We're going to see, but Dummy was making really intelligent choices. And when you have a champion like Poppy, you have the ability to separate somebody from the team to basically pull the trigger first from the furthest and create the most dissonance in these fights. I think you give it to Dummy Slick. Dude's your captain. Dude had a pop-off game on Gragas last game. Let him control this. Let him stop Wukong from going in. Let him just assist your team in creating the best opportunities to fight. We see the Silas band. We see the Malphite band. That does mean that Eurostar does have his favored Victor that is up. We could see that, or we could see him go with something slippery now that Poppy's off the table for Trifarix.
Gonna see 2 new top laners, and I'm assuming at the moment that's going to be an Irelia top. I mean, obviously it can be flex either spot, depending on the Apes' proficiency on it. but definitely a very scary champion if they're able to get ahead early. Just no fun to play against.
Yeah, definitely really annoying, but they do have lockdown this time. They have Nautilus. They have Wukong. I'm expecting
Something similar top, I would say.
that you might see Vigar mid still, too. It is going to be Malzahar instead. I was going to say, you need lockdown. Like, you have to have CC.
It doesn't get much more lockdown than point and click suppression. I would say for my money, the least fun ability in the game. Not sure what anyone else might think, but I mean that's a perfect answer into Irelia, into Samira, and can play pretty safe too if it is Irelia mid.
Yeah, it just allows you to farm, allows you to let Nautilus make those plays for you, try to come and roam mid, create answers. Trifarix now looking for their last pick to round out their team comp. I like Olaf. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's been banned against them these first 2 games, if I recall, and we see it pulled out here. We'll see where this Irelia is going. I actually feel like both these matchups could be in Trifarix's hands. I feel like Irelia probably has a hard time into Olaf, just kind of thinking about how that champ likes to play, loves being at low health.
This has to be a high AP champion because they really don't have a safe spread. They're really 80 heavy. You're playing into... Oh, I'm not sure that's going to be enough. This is a hard comp to execute, and we've seen that 3 games out of 3 from Apes.
Yeah, it very much reminds me of a couple seasons ago in the LBL or in the LCS. There was a team that loved running these like wombo bongo comps, just ult in with the Galio, Poppy go in, Rakan, Samira, pretty much just full dive, and that's kind of what they're going for.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the Trifarix have a lot of ways to disengage these fights, use the Malzahar R on the Samira or the Aurelia, and I think once you do that, you don't have enough damage coming through if they're not able to get really far ahead on red side here. So I think really good drafts here by Trifarix.
Yeah, and we saw that in game 1 too. We said for game 1 before we were loading in, right? We really like the simplicity of it. You have a lot of that in this, but we also just saw pop-off performances from Eurostar, from their top laner Misery on the Gwen, from Dummy Slick. So that momentum can carry forward. It can also make you a little bit overzealous, though, and it can maybe put you in a position that you don't want to be in. You go for those early dives, you go for those early kills because you're used to being ahead. All of a sudden, you're behind on champions that need to be ahead because your comp actually isn't crazily well-rounded, right? You have AP from the Galio. You're not getting it from any other sources. Olaf's going to be hard to kill if you don't have the heal cutting. Wukong's going to be hard to kill. He's going to be able to just fight you guys for a super long time. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and touching on the momentum piece, I think that, like you've said, getting the momentum back in your pockets is going to be really big here for Trifarix, and I think this comp does really enable them to do so. I mean, MF Nautilus is a really strong early level bot lane. Olaf can be a menace in the top lane in those first couple levels. I mean, we've seen it on Shroom already this season. Gets ahead, really hard to deal with, and much like game 1, Vader couldn't recall the mid laner's name. Is playing something really safe mid lane that can scale really, really well into the late game. Mm-hmm. So I want to stay with my boys on Apes Together Strong, but I think I just really like the answer here from Trifarix, and I'm going to have to defect game 3, I think.
Yeah, I have not decided who I'm going to push Schmeckles on, but the Schmeckle bet is live if you want to dive on in there. Moku Furry, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, I like Notorious being on something like the Wukong. I think that they performed really well game 1. I think it's a comfort. Actually, I think resorting back to a lot of comfort is how you win these games too. Sammy 2-slap helping find that early flash off of who did they play top game 1? Jax? They played Jax game 1.
Yeah, Jax.
They had a really good game on Jax too.
Yeah, they've been really good this series. I mean, Gwen last game was quite a monster. In the late game, we saw that 1v2 double kill they were able to pull off.
Oh yeah.
And Irelia is one of those champs that just, you see it in the highlight reels. It's really a kind of a menace. And I feel like against Olaf, it could be tough to build up that early lead. And I feel like Irelia is not a champ that feels great to play from behind here.
I see it too. It's not on stream, but I think we're gonna end up with a cancel. We are, which means just for everybody who is at home, CLG script is very sorry. Picked the wrong champion right there before going to game 3. We're going to switch to commercials just for a little bit for everybody who's watching at home. Go on, get yourself a coriander and enjoy yourself a nice ice cold coriander advertisement.
A 6-pack of beer is just a 6-pack of beer. But a 6-pack of coriander? Now that's something to celebrate. Carefully crafted with one main ingredient, one signature flavor, coriander transcends hops and malted barley. And with our new easy-to-open bottles, you'll be able to slug down a 6er faster than you could ever want to. So grab a friend and raise a glass to craftsmanship, because a coriander shouldn't be enjoyed alone. It's the only beverage of true refreshment. Coriander beer. It takes two to tango.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. A groundbreaking day in LBLCS legal history.
People would die without schmeckles. People can't live their lives. They can't get food. They can't get corianders. How would you expect to live without a schmeckle?
Schmecklegate. You saw it because you were there. The people were there. Mighty Fool sent money to a place it didn't need to go.
What people don't realize is just exactly how involved Dingus was in all of this. The Mighty Fool played his hand, and I was one who benefited.
You thought you could get away with this?
I'm tired of pretending he's innocent.
And we are back, guys. Thank you for indulging us for commercials for a little bit, as we had some pick errors in the draft. Took people a little bit longer to get in the spots they need to be. Hopefully you guys reserve tickets to watch Schmecklegate and have yourself an ice cold coriander by your side right now this evening. We're going into a game 3. Trifarix versus Apes together strong.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, we're called a low budget LCS here, but those are some high quality commercials. I saw a very high quality announcement for this match here tonight in the upcoming events. I mean, it seems like things are straying a little bit away from the name.
Yeah, we'll make sure to add some duct tape and some cracks and errors in the next couple of things we do. We don't want people to think that we're getting too highbrow. We're not, top tier echelon kind of people. We're more like the guy you see at the park who feeds half the pigeons because he doesn't have bread to feed the rest. That's who I want you to think of as the LBLCS. A half pigeon feeder bread man who sits
Seems
on
like kind of a
bench.
mean guy. I mean, that's leaving half the pigeons with nothing to eat.
Well, it could just... All right, he feeds all the pigeons, but clearly not enough. Like,
Oh, sorry.
just like they're all half full. You know what I mean? Like they ain't get a full meal. It's just like a little tasting.
At least there's no picking favorites there. Then everyone has to suffer a little bit.
All right, then we're feeding something else. Lightcore, what do you want the LBLCS to be feeding? I'll go and feed it. I'll record it. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll feed any animal. Pick an animal.
Heard you go to the zoo and throw pieces of food over the guardrail to just whatever animal you
I'm
want.
gonna get in so much trouble for that. But yeah, what animal you
Don't
want?
actually do that.
You're assuming that I haven't tamed every pigeon. A turtle. Sammy Two Slap doesn't even know animals. Christ. Llamas. I could feed llamas.
You have a llama farm nearby?
I'm actually gonna think about that for a second. I know of a llama farm that is within 90 minutes of me driving. So technically
Yeah, that's within reason.
that is within reason. I mean, not really, because I'm talking to a bunch of strangers on the internet and trying to I'm telling them what animal should I go feed. So it's already like not based in reality or like using the brain. But you know what? Alpacas. Okay. Well,
What's the difference between a llama and an alpaca? I feel like they're kind of almost interchangeable. You know, at least in my, it's kind of like the alligator crocodile debacle. Or maybe that's just me showing my unintelligence in
you're just not big
in
into
native blood.
animals, right? That's what
No.
that is. Yeah.
Not a big animal guy.
I think I think alpacas are like not as big as llamas. I straight up could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like llamas are just like bigger. Like they're like big alpacas that are like wider and longer.
Campsada in the chat certainly seems to have a lot of good intel that lines up with what you're saying. They said that alpacas are small, cuddly, and nice, and llamas are mean, large creatures.
Okay, that kind of fits the narrative that I'm going with. Camel.
Camel's also in that same realm. I mean, I know the
Sammy
difference
Two
between a camel
Slap.
and the
No,
others.
Sammy Two Slap's already in game. So this response is clearly rushed because they wanted to say something more about camels, but like are like trying to throw a dredge line on Nautilus, and we're like, oh fuck, I can only write camel. That's it.
But wait, I mean, we're on a 3-minute delay, so that means they're at least like that means they'd be in lane phase, right?
Yeah.
Might be won't be surprised here if we see
I'd love to
Script get a little bit of an advantage in the level 1, level 2.
You see him stand still for 1 second and gets taken advantage of. You can tell that's when he typed in camel. Alpacas are off-brand llamas. And lick toes. Just lick toes. Not LeChance lick toes. Not I lick toes. Not lick toes. It's just lick toes. It's a command.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's just telling everybody. Telling anybody in particular? Not sure there.
I will try to feed either alpacas or llamas and post it in the Discord within the next month. So before April 22nd. I'll make a conscious, real effort. I just want you to know that.
I'm at a year day to take a trip down to the alpaca or llama farm. I mean,
I
back to the
will.
bit.
I will. I feel like, you know what? It also would probably be pretty therapeutic to do that. It's like not the biggest waste of time. It's just weird.
I mean, you're providing food. You're solving hunger.
I'm not
almost
solving
noble.
hunger. There's a solution to
solving-
hunger. It's eating. I'm not solving it. I'm just helping it go away, I guess.
You're solving the problem for a few hours. I'm sure that
I'm mitigating.
llamas,
I'm mitigating the problem.
if they're big creatures, they probably eat a lot, so they surely appreciate it.
Right. I'll feed alpacas slightly less because they're smaller. We do have to get the beer loaded up for both sides because it is a 1-1 game right now. Both sides have a beer. As we're diving into a...
All right, I'm seeing a lot of interesting stuff here in this loading screen. I see the Dark Harvest Poppy. I don't know if that's...
It's really good. It is good.
Is it good?
It is good. And it's also what Dummy Slick wants to play. It's so similar to how they just played Gragas.
Like
They
Gragas,
go
yeah.
in and they absolutely burst them. I honestly expect there's two things that can happen. Dummy Slick can get ahead and you're going to see something really freaky. Like they're going to go like a lethality item and actually just instant kill Misfortune. Or you're going to see them go for like the Divine Sunderer and be able to slap these bigger guys.
And then the Galio with the Guardian. I mean, that again is them kind of committing to the Wombo style. I mean, Galio looking to play more of a supportive role here for the Samira and for the Irelia, giving them those extra shields. Can't say I've ever seen that one before.
Yeah, I actually think that how they've set up here is really important for how they're going to play it out, right? I think Aurelia should be the one that goes in, them or Rakan, trying to create angles, trying to go in. Once that Gallia goes in, you see the Samira follow-up, you see the Poppy follow-up with their W, trying to block off anybody getting in or getting close, right? It'll stop the Dredge line, it'll stop Wukong going in. Won't stop that Olaf, but if you can keep Malzahar in the air or taunted and CC'd for a long enough time, and you can take out Malzahar Misfortune, I think Aurelia can kind of just run rampant over these guys. What team did you bet on? Because I got kicked out again. I'm reconnecting right now, but
I bet on Trifarix that game. I defected.
oh, you defected. Okay, I also bet on Trifarix, so we might have completely cursed Trifarix.
Or if we're both correct, then we both get
We're both
a
lifted.
win in terms of the series, and maybe that's like the actual lifting of the curse.
Okay, so we both were right once, right?
Yes.
Now we've both bet on the same, and this is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth to see, because we were playing the system. One of us had to win, but now we're in a position where we're going to see if the curse is actually lifted, or if we're just full of shit.
One with the ship, down with the ship.
Absolutely. We are jumping in. I'm actually at 11 seconds, 12 seconds, just so you know. Count again if you need it. Gonna zoom out for us.
Sorry, one more time.
21, 22, 23,
All right, I just have to pause. 25.
26,
7.
27. Perfect. Looks like a straight mid-tuck. They're actually not even mid-tucking. They're just looking for them in the mid lane. Not getting spotted out. Both teams looking for aggressive things early. Don't necessarily both have the champions to do it. I think Trifarix is a little bit stronger of that early game, but no one's going to find each other. They're just going to go deep in each other's jungles here.
Always like this look on the Nautilus going down this mid lane path. If you catch somebody slipping in that 5 point, you're able to get a at least a burn flash, if not a kill. So I like that look there. A little bit unfortunate ward placement there for Apes Together Strong, getting
Yeah.
2 wards, but they're for sure gonna know when they're going for that blue buff. Ultimately, nothing comes out of that play, but a lot of vision set up for Trifarix, so they should have a pretty good idea on where this Poppy's at to start the game.
Nice, relaxing start this time. No kills, no flashes, no actual finding. They both did invade, but, like, you know, they're doing their own stuff here. Starting topside jungle.
Yeah, Poppy should have the advantage, though, getting that leash from the Irelia, which might hurt their lane a little bit into the Olaf, but if you're able to get Poppy ahead and maybe look to make the play in the bot lane, is Sammy 2-Slap already looking to posture aggressively. This is that early impact Olaf can have level 1 as Sammy 2-Slap gets the level
Really
2
good
first.
dredge line, a lot of damage. Galahad forced to flash early on. Now they're finding a lot of damage on the script. They're actually going to drop that ignite as well. And Squeewee almost able to finish off the kill. That level 2, getting that first down there in the bot lane is so important. And Sammy 2-Slap's really good at just taking control and making plays happen on this Nautilus.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just especially on a champ like Nautilus that already has such a strong level 1, getting that, dictating the way the lane's going to play out. This should really enable Sammy over the next couple minutes to look to make plays with the Wukong, who's pathing down. I don't think that they should know that Poppy's on this side of the map, given that their wards didn't show them at the blue buff to start the game. So we'll see if they look to make a play here around the scuttle, as they should have all the prio.
Yeah, I'm big eyes on this Aurelia because they were on Gwen last game too. JT Man actually finally on somebody who isn't Malphite as well. Maybe unleashing him could be a key to Trifarix's victory as well.
Setting up a bit of a bush
He
play
wants
here.
it
We'll see if
again.
they catch it.
They know there's no flash on either of them. If they actually just hook one,
And
that might not be the one. He will have the ability to jump away, but so much damage onto him so quickly, and now they're actually just turning for Galahad, who cannot get away from this. The heal was dropped instantly, so chewing through these summoner spells down here in the bot lane. Sammy T-Slap presence.
Yeah, forcing that pace, but Dummy Slick is down here looking to get aggressive.
Yeah, trying to find the CC moves. Great flash forward. Good use of the root, but everybody is getting CC now, and they're just going to follow that up. Squeebly in huge amounts of trouble. Can they finish him off? Turns for a Q, and actually survives a little bit longer. Dredgeline is going to hit. They're going to extend this fight. Can they make it rain again? Squeebly in a huge amount of trouble. Here he comes. Notorious probably looking for Galahad, but doesn't want to go in too deep. Script healing up. Squeebly, I don't know if you should go back in.
Oh, it's a good answer there, though, from Dummy Slick, able to burn the flash and heal on Squeebly and kind of alleviate that pressure that Trifarix were able to build in that first 2-3 levels there. And this should relieve a lot of this pressure for the bot lane as the smite goes over to Notorious, and he should be able to just meander his way up top and get a double scuttle.
Yeah, not too much of a lead, like both junglers unable to make things happen. Last game they made reverse things happen. They showed up to lanes and were killed when they did show up. So interesting that we've seen nothing so far. Usually we've seen a kill or two by this point in the game, but people being more calculated, more precise with their plays keeps them safe for a little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure in a game 3 scenario here. You don't want to be the one to set your team back too far in the early game. But to Sammy T-Slap's credit, he's playing really aggressive and trying to set his team up for success. Has been able to get the kill yet, but I certainly think that the Wukong's in a pretty good spot here, getting a cheeky invade on Dummy Slick's Raptors, taking a little bit of XP away there.
Yeah, I mentioned a couple of things. I'm interested in Eurostar's ability to play this more supportive role. We see him now on the Galio, really the only source of AP damage too on the team. So interesting to see how they're going to manage those two things, because you do have to be conscious of that and willing to make those crazy plays, go in when it seems like it might not work, because you need to have, with the way this team dives, you need to have like a coherent thought as a team. You need to communicate that you're going in. It needs to be followed through and followed up, and the damage has to be there. So those conversations have to happen prior to the fight and then while it's happening. I know that before they were really more of a damage dealer themselves. We saw them with the slippery Akali. Now it's something totally different.
Yeah, for sure. Up here in the top lane, GT Man's in a little bit of trouble as his lane's been frozen for a decent bit, and with Wukong basing and Poppy on that side of the map, he's probably going to have to concede a CS. Look for a hook.
Dredgeline down here in the bot lane making it rain as well, as Script just uses that Guardian gracefully and is able to shield up.
Dummy Slick spending a lot of time trapped just trying to exert their pressure onto GT Man. Looks like they're just gonna walk it off, lose a little bit of tempo there, and look to get a bit of an invade in on Notorious. I think they should have spotted him out there with the blast or the vision cone there. Should know that Wukong's on this side of the map.
And Dummy Slick might be in a lot of trouble right here because Vader's already 6, but here comes Galio trying to help out, although 2 are in a little too deep right now. First blood going to Olaf as they're looking for more. They're trying to find it. Notorious, a nice flash away to stop himself from getting stunned, and then he gets in front of Eurostar. Now they're trying to find the rest of the damage. The Ignite going down. Oh, the double kill for Olaf. He's going to pick it up.
Just a little bit aggressive there from Dummy Slick. Going into their jungle, I mean, they knew the Wukong was on that side of the map, but they felt like their team had the answer with the Galio ultimate, but I mean, again, just that the Malzahar suppression completely taking someone out of the fight, and when you're already in a 2v3 and you end up going into a 3v1, not great there. Well, it's great there for Trifarix, as Olaf's able to get this double kill, this big early game menace, looking to get that gold early.
Yeah, but now the same type of hubris being expended by this Wukong, gonna get picked up. Oh no, he's not! Used it to get over the wall. Is going to get spotted out, but Notorious just slinks away with a sliver of life.
Yeah, like you said, comes right back at him, just being in a bit of an over-aggressive spot. Yeah, I mean, you knew that Poppy was going to be coming out to that side of the map, because that's where the closer buff was spawning. It was a great hook from Sammy.
A lot of damage onto them right now. A nice CC move onto Squeebly, who might be in heaps of trouble. Galahad still not 6. Ignite being dropped onto them. They're actually going to back up just for safety for a little bit, but they also don't have bullet time. A nice Q from Squeebly. It's going to make Galahad a little bit nervous, and they might have to back up. Good flash away from the dredge line right there. Oh my god. I've seen this play. Let's see how it plays out this time. Takes
A little
the
bit more successful that time.
Yep. 6
Very,
on
very
both
scrappy,
ADCs.
but I think it might come down to which support gets their 6 here first. A little bit hard to tell, but could see a double kill here in the next moment or two. It looks like Sammy's able to pick it up first, so we'll see if he looks to get aggressive here in the next 30 seconds or so.
Nice little hit onto script right there.
Squeeby is on point with these MFQs.
Squeeby's really good at MF. I think because Squeeby's naturally a support player that is almost like a caster ADC, the way you use your spells, and I think that just suits them better.
We see the rotation over to Dragon. Doesn't look like there's really an answer for Apes together strong here. Gonna hand over this first objective, but still relatively even game state. Only 700 gold leaders, so in the first 10 minutes, you definitely aren't sweating it too much at the moment.
A lot of damage onto it really right here. Good for Trifarix to pick up the first soul, or the first dragon rather. We're waiting to see what. They're gonna start warding because I actually really like where Apes have warded this game. I like that they're tracking a little bit better. Game 1, we didn't see them warding too well, but as the series has progressed, they've gotten better at figuring out where they want to ward ahead of time.
Definitely keeping good tabs on where Notorious is going to be. I think if I'm a Trifarix here, I'm definitely looking to prioritize this Rift Herald in the next minute or two, as you have this Olaf who should be coming back with, I think the Ravenous fully completed, if not going to be really close.
Good make it rain to slow him down, but Dummy Slick going to be looking for something. A nice flash away from Sammy 2 Slap's going to keep him safe from the knock-up, and unable to find something, but they do burn a summoner spell.
Yeah, not the biggest impact there, but could look to go for a repeat, but they are going to be spotted out as also good vision from Trifarix, at this time in a bit more of a defensive capacity. Probably nothing going to amount from here, as we do see Trifarix walking up to the Rift Herald.
Looking for something. They do spot out this Wukong. JT Man also clearing out wards, so Vision Favor going to get back in to Trifarix's hands. Some gold getting to the pocket here, Eurostar. But overall, slight gold lead here for the side that's 2-0.
Yeah, and they get both those objectives, which is definitely nice. Early game here for the Rift Herald. You really can probably go anywhere with it. I'd probably look to try and make a play top lane and get JT Man just even further ahead on this Olaf. Feel like he's in a pretty good spot against the Akali. But we'll see what Notorious looks to do here in the next couple minutes before the next drag spawns.
The thing I like out of Aurelia that we've seen right here is that they picked up heal cutting really early, and that's something we haven't seen in any game by any player. We've constantly seen them delay until one or two team fights break out, and the healing is a big problem, and then it's a very reactive buy. This time it's super proactive. They've bought themselves healing, and they've bought themselves heal cutting, so they're able to now trade more heavily with this Olaf. Olaf still has that advantageous position, but Sammy 2 Slap in a lot of trouble down here in the bot lane, gets absolutely bit and eaten up. Squeeby trying to find it right there, but can't help enough with the bullet time as they get CC'd and locked up, have to flash away themselves.
Yeah, just punishing the fact that Sammy had to burn his flash just a minute or so prior, able to pick up that kill and also burn the MF flash. And in transition, we'll see if they look to make anything else happen here. They did burn an awful lot there, but they do still have Poppy's ult. Just going to clear out some vision, get the map back in their control as Samira looking to go in.
Wants to be aggressive as possible on a Squeeby who's just trying to push them away right now. They have Notorious in the area. Ultimate being dropped, Cyclone also being dropped onto him, but now Dummy Slick might look for something. Can Notorious get back to safety? That flash away might keep them safe, but a lot of damage coming out of Dummy Slick. Now right there, gonna drop the ultimate. Is it gonna be enough? It doesn't look like it. Galahad getting hit. Dummy Slick's one hit away from death. Sammy 2 Slap looking for the dredge line, doesn't connect onto anybody.
Man. Notorious, I think that's like the second or third time this game they've been able to escape with just this absolute smallest sliver of health there.
Yeah,
like he is. This game could be looking a lot different for Apes Together Strong if they were just able to get that little bit of extra damage in. But it was still a really good pick there. Able to get the flash on the Wukong, who was trying to catch him off. And oh, this is dangerous.
This is a little bit of a bait and switch. They're going to take him down. Galahad getting another kill going and dropping the ultimate as well. But Sammy T-Slap just a little bit too tanky. Notorious goes over the wall. Your star is level 10 right here. That's 3 levels above Notorious. So probably has just decent enough base stats to not even really care. Dummy Slick making their way here though. 2 level 7s, 2 level 10s. Can they find something? Notorious might get hit up and stunned. Good repositioning to try to stay alive for a little bit longer, but then gets CC'd, gets locked up, and might be getting taken down. Are you kidding me? Okay, they get taken down this time.
Third time was not in fact the charm here for Notorious. Gets taken down, but they are able to pop that Rift Herald mid. I don't think that it was able to get turret plate gold. I think it probably came in just after. Sammy might be getting caught out here.
Yeah, gets hit by the CC. Sammy might be able to just walk away. Does get the aftershock right there as they're silencing Galio in the middle lane, who just tried to ult right there but couldn't do it. Can they try to turn this? A nice drop of the ultimate, and all of a sudden Squeewee's a massive problem, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as they pick up a kill onto Poppy as well. This is just before the dragon though, so killing a jungler might be more effective unless the ADC also goes down as Galahad goes absolutely rampant, hits the S tier, drops the ultimate, and takes down the other ADC.
Yeah, gotta give a big shout out there to Vader, who was really the only reason that Trifarix were able to pick up that kill in transition. Yeah. Able to silence the Galio, who would have ulted in over the top. And yeah, with getting that kill back and then also killing the with the MF going down, this should be a dragon. But with Poppy dying, they may be able to stall this out a little bit longer.
Yeah, go lead now on the side of Apes, who Samira, like chat is pointing out right now, Samira going off a little bit. Samira finding ways into these fights, isn't getting locked down, but come to these team fights where they're gonna have the suppression. I think you're gonna see her get locked down. I think that's the target. Maybe Aurelia if they're being defensive with their ultimate here. But I can't imagine that it wouldn't be Samira. They're looking for something. On to Vader right here. Does have to flash away to stay alive.
Yeah, good setup there from Script. He knew to pop the Q to get rid of that spell shield. Otherwise, Vader wouldn't have been in much of a threat there, but definitely just heads up play there. I'm surprised we haven't actually talked more about this top lane because I was definitely expecting this to be like a pretty volatile spot. I could see this lane going really hard one way or another as Script looking to clear out the vision, set up something maybe for Eurostar.
And good just vision clear out as a team. 4 people down here in the bot lane right now. Script and Eurostar trying to find answers, trying to create plays instead of being static. They're looking to be dynamic, to create more things. Dummy Slick forced to go mid though because their repositioning has allowed for the transition here. They're able to take that mid tower. It's pretty big.
Yeah, and that evens up the gold count here. We see a Rift Herald spawning here in about a minute. And I'm really interested to see if either of these teams look to really hard commit to that and try to, obviously they don't know that this game is deadlocked in terms of gold, but
right.
They should feel like it's pretty close. And I'm curious to see if one of them wants to maybe take that risk and potentially set themselves up for this big win. Yeah, gotta find a way to kill this Samira. She is proven to be quite a problem. Galahad doing really well on it. Really tough for Squeewee to really stand up in that 1v1 at this point.
Script might be looking for JT, man. Has Notorious in the area. The one thing about Script playing a champion like Rakan this time is Script before on Thresh was out of position a couple of times, but now has the ability to reposition. I think that's really dangerous and powerful. They also have the ability to go in, CC everybody, and then go back to the team to safety, try to create plays. So they have more tools than they've had before in terms of the champion they've picked has complemented their weakness, and I think that's really interesting to see how that will play out in these fights.
Yeah, that's why Rakan is just so nice to play right now. It just takes away the biggest weakness of an engaged support. Just able to, like we just saw right there, reposition if they were maybe even just a little bit caught out, get that ward down, W out. Rakan is definitely the choice, in my opinion, for engaged points. A lot of damage going down on Missouri.
Flash away. Uh-oh, Dummy Slick might be looking for something right now. Does hit some damage, and the ultimate from Galio. They're just going all in on Sammy 2-Slap, who does get an ultimate on Galahad, but no one to follow it up. Massive Cyclone hits so many. Can we get a bullet time off? They do, but it's immediately charmed. Galio's gonna be the first one to go down. Script now could be in some trouble as Olaf is running rampant on the back end. They absolutely lock them all down, and this comp coming into fruition, doing exactly what they want, running through the back line and being free to crush these Apes into submission.
What a team fight there. I mean, it looked like for a second that Apes Together Strong had the play. They were able to get the huge stun onto the Nautilus. They were able to get the Galio R on top of multiple people. But Nautilus, Sammy 2-Slap, able to press that R just in time to, I believe it was hit the Poppy in the back line there. And that set up the Malzahar R. A lot of damage coming through. Rift Tail being picked up. And I don't know if they needed to pop it here. As they're all sticking top, but they're gonna escort Shelly in here, try to get this tier 2 top. Really well done.
Yeah, they're forcing them to come meet them. They're saying, come and defend this because we will take it so quickly if you don't. They're actually just going to get one hit off and nothing more, but at least they were able to use it without it going to waste.
Yeah, I would have maybe liked to see them hold on to that a little bit closer to this dragon timer here, but ultimately that tower is not going to heal back up, so that's something that they can come back to if they see a good opportunity as the game goes on. Really big dragon fight here coming up though, as Trifarix do have a little bit of a gold advantage. Not sure if it's game breaking. Vader might be caught out here.
Yeah, it could be really problematic. Is going to get CC'd up right now. Doesn't hit anybody with the silence, but gets hit up, gets CC'd, gets shut down.
That's really big for Apes there. Just Malzahar, not a champion that you can be up front like that. You know, you're not the one that's supposed to be clearing out vision. They thought they were safe, but just really good rotation from Apes Together Strong there to catch him out.
They're going to change this game massively as now the teleport's coming in. A lot of damage. A nice Cyclone's going to knock up Dummy Thick and Galahad, who drops her ultimate on the back line. Script already going down. That's 1-for-1 as we see Wukong fall. Olaf getting absolutely knocked out of the fight. Scream with a huge reposition on the flash. Saves their life right there. And actually, they have bullet time available.
Wow, I can't believe that Galahad got out of that. I mean, Notorious was right on top of him with the Cyclone, knocked him up as the Samira dash came through. But they're just able to reposition with the flash, get the heal off, and then stack up their style points and really turn that fight around for the Apes. Really well done there in a bit of a numbers mismatch.
Yeah. It all started with that Malzahar pick too, right? So you have Malzahar in that fight. That fight is completely different. Really big Cyclone again from Notorious, who's shown, like, honestly, I'm looking at Notorious and I'm thinking if I'm in Economy Group B and I play against Trifarix, I don't want him to have this. It's not that he's a massive playmaker in the early game stages, but he knows how to team fight with Wukong really well.
Yeah, Wukong's just one of those just nasty champs that can always fit into any team fight. You have the double Cyclone, you have the dash on the E, you have the clone, which is another dash. Just really a hard champ to really not I don't want to say that, you know, take it away from Notorious, but it's a champ that can fit in almost any situation, even if you're, you know, a little bit behind.
One thing that I've seen do really well is he leaves a clone next to Squeewee every single time. Like, leaves it next to MF, then goes in, so that when he drops Cyclone, he's protecting his ADC the whole time, and that's, like, something that you should be conscious of that you're doing. And sometimes it can totally happen by accident. You're coming from the same angle. It just happens to fall like that, but seeing it 2 times in a row means that, like, this is a conscious thought that they're having. Okay, I'm not trying to knock up as many people as possible. I'm trying to make sure that space is being created for somebody who can do damage.
And that's just really heads up kind of like that next level of thinking. You know, you obviously, like, you know, the first step is, you know, finding the good engage, but then the next step is finding the good engage and also thinking about the you know, the other team's engage.
Right.
So love to see that from Notorious. Just really you know, heads up, smart play. Poppy might be a little caught out here on their side of the map.
They do have the blast. Kind of, they are going to take it just to steal the blue buff yet again.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot of fights over that.
Gotten a blue buff since that first one.
Yeah. I don't think so either. Uh-oh. Here, look. Here's a big engage. Able to make sure he grabs the clone this time. Trade a little bit of damage back. Oh my god, he does so much, and they're going to lock him in place for hours and hours. They're going to take down Poppy. They're looking for script now, but Missouri from top lane on Aurelia coming in. Eurostar is going to be able to walk away from this.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't really have a ton of damage there. I mean, you have the Galio with the Everfrost, and then you have Poppy on the Divine Thunder, but you don't have this Samira, you don't have this Irelia. Is they're looking to catch Script out, maybe?
Could have been dangerous for Squeaky right there. Galahad not quite in this fight yet. They do see him on wards, so they're aware of the presence. They're going to look for the dredge line. They actually connect it, and everything's going to follow up, but they're also going to use the defense for it. And this is a big, massive fight as Galahad's looking for the ultimate and actually gets it off. Totally erases the other team, but a bullet time from over the wall makes it. They're going to go down, and now Misery's in some trouble. Can they finish him off? Squeewee actually with the reposition is a genius. Can they kill them all? It looks like they might be able to. The heal for the speed, and they kill him.
Wow, that almost looked like it was going to be a Samira and Irelia 2v8 there. Just they were pumping so much damage out, immediately taking out Malzahar and Sammy on the Nautilus. But huge reposition there from Squeewee, and are able to salvage that play for Trifarix, and ultimately are able to come out with the the kill advantage.
That
could look a lot different.
Intelligence of getting into position to free hit comes a lot from the fact that Squeewee is used to playing, and like we've seen Squeewee play in the LBLCS for many, many seasons. They're almost always on support. So seeing them in the ADC position is really different, but they're playing a caster, and they know how to get good ultimates off because so many supports, that's the important thing you're doing. You play something like Seraphine, you play something like Renata, you're looking for these big ults that have that similar cone, the same way Bullet Time does. Just the reposition to get in the right spot, to hit everybody with it and get those free auto attacks off that whole fight. Just really good.
Love this early vision that Script's setting up here before this this big dragon we're going to be coming up. Going to be maybe spotted out here by Sammy 2 Slap, but has wards in a pretty good spot. I would say that's a pretty good TP ward if Trifarix doesn't sniff it out here. Looks like they do not sniff it out. Right there behind the dragon pit up. Now the control ward spotted out. Caster Curse, of course.
How could you? They have the momentum now from that last fight too. I think they were shown the danger and also saved by the prayer of Bullet Time there a little bit. Like, oh, Aurelia and Samira can actually just delete us. And if we're not smart about how we go into these fights, it is all over. And so every single fight matters so much now. They might be trying to trade Baron for Dragon right here. JT Man might be running into absolute hell. They're looking for a triple taunt right there. Script gets onto the back line, and all the damage is coming out. He's immune to CC right now, but he's not able to do enough damage. Script might go down, but it's going to be a trade 1-for-1 if they get it. They do. Top laner for... Oh, wait, here's an ultimate from Galio. On the backside, a lot of damage. Huge Cyclone's going to hit 3. Bullet Time's going to go on to one of them. They're able to pick up Aurelia already. A nice flash away. Keeps Squeaky alive for a little bit longer. They're looking for 1. They're looking for 2. They pick up both of them. Nautilus does go down in the scuffle, but it's a 2-for-4 in favor of Trifarix.
And it looks like they're going to try to get both Baron and Dragon here. I don't know if they have the DPS to do this, per se. I got to just shout out. I mean, Notorious and Squeewee have this just ridiculous synergy. The W into the 4-man Cyclone for this Misfortune Bullet Time, just pumping massive damage on these relatively squishy Samira, Rakan,
They're
Irelia.
doing this in full view, right? Like they know they're on this, doing this. They don't have Smite here.
Yeah, this is... I think you gotta get off this, but I mean, it doesn't look like they're gonna try. Maybe they keep the aggro. They're
gonna keep it. They might be able to finish this off. JT Man's now here though. JT Man's actually trouble. So is Aurelia. The top laners have entered the building. Who will end up with their lives because Notorious is now in the area. They're looking for everything. Dredge line doesn't connect. Dummy Slick goes over the wall. Dummy Slick trying to finish it off and find the... Oh, they could be in trouble. Everybody is in the pit now. They're just looking for it, but it drops so low. Nautilus actually picks it up with an auto attack.
That was almost... I don't think Wukong's... Oh my...
Flash over with the Cyclone. A lot of damage now coming out. A nice exhaust out. Nobody hits up 3 for the second time. And all of that damage is chunking Script with the sacrificial run-in to save the life of Galahad.
Man, that almost disastrous for Trifarix. You're trying to burn this Baron without a smite. They TP in. They have the Poppy in the right spot at the right time. But Trifarix just immediately turned on this Poppy, who they saw Blast Cone in. They knew she didn't have Flash, and so they're able to just shred them to pieces. It was closer on the Baron. I want to say I saw it go down to like 12 health. So I don't know which jungler maybe misfighted there a little bit, but huge pickup by Sammy 2 Slap on the Nautilus, picking up the Baron for his team.
Yeah, this has been a crazy series, and every game has been back and forth in a really explosive way. And we're seeing, I think, what is just from what I understand it to be like, this team, Trifarix, a lot of these players have played in this competitive 5 setting for a really long time, and I just don't know how much Apes have. And I feel like at this point, this is mostly communication, because these teams are evenly matched. Their drafts complement what they want to do, what they like to do, how they like to play. I think it just comes down to communication and sometimes luck. Like luck that your Nautilus auto takes that Baron.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just hit the nail on the head there. I mean, we kind of touched on it before Game 1's draft, but Apes Get It Strong definitely having several roster changes throughout the season. And I mean, like you said, at this point, the further the game goes on, the more the game matters in terms of your communication with your team, getting set up for good macro plays. And we're just seeing some really good stuff coming out from Trifarix right now. We'll have to see what the answer for the Apes are, as they're down about 6,000 gold. A little bit tough with their count that wants to go in, going from that kind of gold deficit.
Yeah, and trying to hold on to this game can be tough because you're deep in the series. You know that losing that Nexus means you lose all of the points here. Pushing in with the Baron.
A lot of damage on this Galio, unfortunately.
Galio can't see much. Aurelia is backing. They pushed out top a little bit, but no dragon to take for another minute 45.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it in their build. I mean, you touched how they don't have a lot of AP on their team, so he's kind of having to go for a more damage-oriented build, and that in turn means that Eurostar is just not able to soak enough damage as you would really like a Galio to be able to do.
Yeah, and coupled with that too, right? Dummy Slick on the Poppy went that Dark Harvester, doesn't have the Aftershock procs to stay in those fights for even longer.
Yeah, definitely a really relatively squishy team here for the Apes. And we see the QSS picked up for both Misery and Galahad. So, but I feel like we've been seeing most of the Malzahar Rs going off on this Poppy, who really isn't that tanky. So I can't recall seeing a ult on the Aurelia Smear in the last several fights. So, gotta be careful here if you're Dummy Slick, as you're likely the best target.
Seeing some ward clearing coming out now as the vision battle and the dance around the neutral objectives is going to continue. They do have that extra pressure in the mid lane. They could be getting converged on. Malzahar not in the picture right now. This is actually a really good time to try to find a fight. I'm not sure they know it. They're going to see Malzahar mid right now, and they should be trying to force this. Dummy Slick looking for a way in. Eurostar staring at him. Can they do this right now? They might be looking for it. Sammy 2 side maybe a little bit too deep. Here comes the Galio ultimate. It's going to connect onto nobody. Everybody's able to get away as the Cyclone gets dropped by Notorious, trying to stay alive for a little bit longer, but the bullet time is massive. A huge block from Galahad as well. They're able to pick up one. Can they pick up Galahad? They cannot. He gets to slide away. They take him down in the end. Now they're looking for Eurostar, who gets absolutely chunked out. This MF just blowing through the Apes.
And they're going to keep it up, trying to go for the full ace here. The Malzahar, damage over time, going to take it. That's going to be a full ace, and it looks like they're just going to try to end the game and not go for Dragon here. Really good opportunity there for Apes Get It Strong to try and catch them out 4v5, but just this Wukong was able to buy enough time for his team. Squealy again able to reposition really effectively, and that's going to be a 2-1 series win for Trifarix.
Yeah, really good series. Not a single player should feel bad about it at all, no matter what team you're on. I mean, I would not be surprised if you saw both these teams in semis or both these teams in the finals of the Economy League. Like, this was a good series. This is a 3-game series. Every single game was different. Every single game was just chock full of action and plays and people having good mechanical plays, teams having good macro. So I'm expecting these teams to matter come playoffs.
Yeah, I think if you're Apes Get It Strong, I mean, you have to take into account that you're a relatively new set of 5 players, and we saw a lot of potential here. I mean, we saw that game 2, they were able to effectively steamroll the entire game. We saw game one. They were able to rebound back in major ways against a formidable team that a lot of these players made economy finals last year. So I think you have to be pretty optimistic if you're the Apes Together Strong. I think Galahad had a lot of good performances here. Dummy Slick, obviously, on that Gragas. Hope to never see that again if I'm going against them.
If you're an
So I think
economy
there's a lot of
B
potential.
and you don't take away Gragas from Dummy Slick, he is going to show you why you should. I promise you that.
Absolutely.
Well, we don't have time for interviews because we did have a 3-game series. We've been on here for almost 3 full hours. And me and Les Force actually have to drive out tomorrow and feed a bunch of alpacas due to our curse officially being lifted. Trifarix did win. Your schmeckles will be paid out. And we can sleep well tonight.
All things end well here in the world. Now, from here, it's on us to not fall ourselves back into the lull of the curse.
This is probably the only night this whole season where I will get 2 predictions out of 3 correct. I'm sure I will get everything else wrong and lose all of my schmeckles for another year in a row. Guys, thanks so much for watching the LBLCS. If you want to join us, go ahead, drop on down. MVP Stone, thank you for the follow. Titan Esports, thank you for the raid of 27 from earlier. Just big shout out to you guys for always being supportive and stuff. We're going to head out, though. Hope everybody has a great night.
Yep, thank you.